Warning. You are entering Open Lines Friday. For today, anything goes. Thank you for your cooperation.
All right, this is King Bucho. Welcome to BDA Boxing, the boxing debate arena. Open Lines Friday, anything goes. Anybody can join. The link is in the description, and I'll be posting it in the chat. We're going to keep it to maybe 11 people. So first come, first served. And yep, let's talk some boxing here. Hey, BD, are you there?
Yo. Yes, I am. Make sure to lower my volume on the Discord. So I don't sound distorted on the YouTube, police.
I think it sounds fine. I'm gonna lower it. All right.
Butcher, you hear it fine, but I'm telling you, on YouTube it distorts.
Okay, but I need to hear you still. So, anyways, I'll put it. This should be fine. All right. So you already talked about the fight that's taking place this Saturday between Munguia and John Ryder. We can still talk about that fight, but I'd like to touch on, the PBC announced their next card is going to be taking place on Amazon Prime. Main event will be Team Zoo versus Keith Thurman. This is going to be taking place on March the 30th in the T-Mobile Arena. You also have Rolly Romero versus Isaac Cruz, Danny Garcia versus Erislandy Lara, and Sebastian Fundora against... Yeah.
Sorry, it's not Danny Garcia, it's Zerafa.
Oh, yeah, sorry. That's my... Michael... Yeah, it's true. I made them. Michael Serafa versus Lara, Sebastian Fundora versus Serhii Bohachuk. I think that's his name. Pay-per-view, by the way. Pay-per-view. Is it going to be $85? Some people are saying that. I thought it was going to be $40.
Well, first of all, let's remind people that this is not an official announcement. I didn't see it from the PBC or anywhere PBC related.
Yeah, no, they posted it on their website.
Oh, okay.
They called it a mega card or something like that. A mega card. So
well, first of all, let's start off with this, Bucho, because I went on Twitter yesterday and then today, and there's a lot of strife and a lot of back and forth between people. And I see a lot of the usual suspects defending this card. First of all, let's establish whether it's a good card, because I see people moving the goalposts. First, it's a good card. Then it becomes, well, if you don't want to watch it, don't buy it and stop complaining. So, which always means I can defend it. Therefore, please just stop talking about it. Just stop criticizing it. Let's look at the card, Bucho. I mean, you mentioned it. Zerafa versus Lara. Fundora, who's coming off a loss against some Russian dude or Eastern European guy. Isaac Cruz versus Rolly Romero. And the main event is Keith Thurman versus Zoo. Well, let's look at it. Keith Thurman hasn't fought since February 2022. So he's going to be over a 2-year long layoff. Then you've got Zerafa and Lara. Lara's a 40-something-year-old fighter. He hasn't fought since May 2022. Zerafa hasn't fought since, I believe, late 2022. So both guys are going to be encountering layoffs that span over or more than 12 months. So they're going to be shaking the rust off. So when people say, oh, come on, it's not a bad card. You got former champions. You got big names. Let's face the facts. Yes, of course, these guys eventually have to get the rust off. But does it have to be on pay-per-view? So in other words, already a 40-year-old rusty fighter against a male stripper who's going to be rusty. That wouldn't be such a bad fight if it was on a free platform. Then Thurman against Zhu. On paper, that looks like a mismatch because one dude is 35, I believe. Thurman is about 30, mid-30s. Again, with a long layoff. And even the WBO refused to sanction this fight. That's why it's at a catch weight of 155. Isa Cruz versus Romero looks like a good fight. And then Fundora versus the other dude, but Fundora's coming off a loss. So really, is this worth... Jonathan Kidder in the chat says that apparently it's going to be $70. I'm sorry, man. I'd be willing to buy this because I'm a boxing degenerate at $50. At $70 plus tax, it's a big ask. Wouldn't you agree, Bucho, or what do you think?
No, I agree. By the way, I mean, my expectations are higher when it comes to the PBC because they have so many fighters, right? And this is their first Amazon event, their first Amazon card. I'm expecting a big card. You know, I'm expecting them to make some noise. And this is what the fuck they announced. And did they announce another card? I don't think they did. You know, it's one thing, you know, they could have, you know, announced this card and another card with other names, and then maybe I'd be like not that disappointed because I would know that there's another card coming up with the other PBC fighters, but that didn't happen. They only announced this card, and it's not a great card, like you said. So this is definitely a disappointment. Again, the PBC should do a better job, no? And some people believe that the PBC is like the best promotional company out there. The Al Haymon is the biggest. What is he? I don't even know. He's not a promoter, whatever.
But that's my thing, though.
Biggest name.
Which you made a great point about the bar being set high because think about it. Look, a lot of people feel that Erickson Lubin got robbed. I mean, excuse me, that he got a gift decision over Ramos. Whatever. Technically, he won. So wouldn't you put that dude in there against Zhu? Like, why does it have to be a welterweight who hasn't fought in over 2 years?
It's a name.
It's nonsensical.
But it's Keith Thurman. Remember him from 2018? 2017 or something. That's the guy.
I mean, listen, the people that are trying to defend this, come on. Now it's turning to, okay, but if you're not gonna fight, if you're not gonna buy it, just stop complaining about it. I'm sorry. I'm a boxing fan. With the potential that the PBC has, with over 100 fighters, they could do a lot better than this. And it's like Rick Glacier said on Twitter a couple of days ago. He said, insanity is when people keep repeating the same mistakes, knowingly. Not just repeating the same mistake and the same noxious pattern over and over. Because this is again, why are they putting Keith Thurman against Tim Zhu? Why not make the big fight or a sensible fight right away? Tim Zhu against a winner. Or a guy who's been at least active in the last 12 months. And then again, people were complaining. Or saying, well, you shouldn't complain because, I mean, these guys have to get the rust off eventually. Yeah, I agree. But again, that's to the PBC's fault. But because last year, people like to talk about how the PBC made the biggest fights last year. All right, they made some big fights on pay-per-view, mind you. And their fighters also, for the most part, 90% of their fighters were relegated to one fight per year. So this whole thing of them being rusty, again, that's the PBC's fault. And so if you're gonna get the rust off and get these guys some tune-ups, okay, do it on a non-pay-per-view platform. But again, this is all people already know this. The PBC is in trouble right now. They only have 12 dates with Amazon. They have no money coming in from outside investors, as far as anyone knows. So this is all the PBC money, and they don't. It appears like even without the Wallen and Reed or whatever those guys were who were funding their operation back in 2015, it seems like there's even with that money they were still making shit matchups. So people can please spare us a whole PBC's been making power moves, blah, blah, because they haven't. They're in this position this precarious position for a reason.
Just look at the main event. Keith Thurman versus Team Zoo. Seriously. This is their first fucking card? Are you kidding me? Why? I don't understand. This
We
is
got
garbage.
Rick Star.
In a pay-per-view. In a pay-per-view. In a pay-per-view.
That's the main gripe. That's the main gripe. Again, the people that are trying to defend this is, come on, man, you can't defend this being on paper. It's one thing, like I said, if it was on an Amazon Prime and program and you get it with your basic package,
exactly.
Okay. But pay-per-view, that's the money. And that's when people are saying now, like I saw some people were getting into it with Punch Drunk because he started saying that the people that aren't going to buy this is because they're broke. And Beeps from Ringside Reporter, he made a great point. He goes, okay, so how many pay-per-views is it going to do? If it bombs, is it because people are broke or is it because it's a shit fight? It's a shit card. And of course, that's the main point people, for the most part, refuse to address, which is that it's a bad card on pay-per-view. You can talk about how they're former champions or big names. And like you said, Keith Thurman, yeah, he's a big name. In 2016 and 2017. Or okay, let's 2019. It's almost 5 years ago by the time this card's going to come along. Because he fought Pacquiao in June, I believe, or May or June. So it's almost 5 years now. So it's just like, people. And by the way, Beeps also made a good point. He said there's 2 pay-per-views around that time. There's Fury versus Usyk and Joshua versus Ngannou. And on top of that, it's March Madness. So don't expect a casual to purchase this pay-per-view. They don't know who these guys are. And then, of course, the hardcores know what matchups are involved. They look at the rust, they look at the quality of the matches, they're going to go, fire stick time. But I'm curious to hear what other people have to say.
And it's kind of understandable that Fury versus Usyk is a pay-per-view. You got to pay Fury Spurs and Usyk as well. Joshua, I mean, say what you want. He's still a big name. And Ngannou as well with the PBC fan base and what he did against Fury. But why does this Sue versus Thurman event have to be a pay-per-view? Like, do they are they that broke?
It's almost like, bro, like they don't learn their lesson. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Y'all fucked up when y'all opened up PBC by opening up with the fight y'all opened up with. It was like Danny Garcia versus like some random dude and Broner. Like, it was terrible. I can't remember exactly who was fighting, but I remember the matchups were terrible, bro. And it just reminds me of the same shit that this card's doing. That like the names are like, okay, I kind of know these dudes, but it's like, what's up with these matchups? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, they think we're stupid. Like you said, okay, we know who Keith Thurman is, but if you really stop and think about it, this guy was a name 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Bucho, BDA, like, look at it. PBC, Al Haymon, this has been their model, their business model. Pay-per-views only is the only way they can have any regulation of some type of profit that they can kind of assume from the public. Even if they feed you like a shit pie or a shit cake, people are going to eat it. That's what their mentality is, and it's always been that way. But in due respect, fuck it. You know what? Yeah, no, $70. No, I will not pay for this rubbish. I'll get the highlights on fucking YouTube. But realistically, fucking Keith Thurman, this guy's gonna be Tim Zoo's gonna fucking annihilate this guy. And I don't know, man. To watch this level of violence against an individual who has over 2 years of ring rust. I mean, we've seen the examples of ring rust, including Josh Taylor, including fucking Charlo, including like what's Al Haymon doing? He's putting all these guys who've been on the bench 2 years, almost 2 years plus, to get fucking eviscerated. I don't know. That's kind of sadistic, if you ask me.
That's a good point. I mean, we're basically going to watch the end of Keith Thurman. That's going to be kind of sad. The guy, like 35 or something, getting knocked out at 155, something like that. I mean, this guy was supposed to be this great welterweight. I mean, he was an okay champion, but I think his career could have been better. I think he underachieved. And now he's gonna
But
get knocked out at
that's the main
155. Now he's gonna get knocked out at 155 at 35 years old. Go ahead, Billy.
No, but you're absolutely right. That's what I'm saying here is, and like Rickstar said, first of all, that point has to be repeated over and over. This isn't because this type of bad matchup isn't occurring because the PBC is in a bad spot. I mean, partially it is, but like I said earlier too, and like Rickstar said, even when they had the Wally and Reed money, they were passing Robert Guerrero around. Like, why did they need to make Robert Guerrero versus Danny Garcia? It was an unnecessary fight. So, but that's what they've been doing for years, and they're in the same boat now. And again, to watch a fight, to pay for a, I'm unaccustomed. I'm unaccustomed to paying on a pay-per-view platform, seeing guys shake off the rust. That is a bad business model. This thing is probably gonna tank worse than any other pay-per-view out there. And again, it's the deflection that people have on Twitter that I'm saying. This is why I disassociate myself from engaging people on Twitter, because you can't go back and forth with somebody tweeting, and especially when somebody wants to use rhetorical devices and rhetorical fallacies as arguments. People say, well, what about, because Bob Arum recently came out, he said that Amazon pay-per-view, that this Amazon deal is probably going to fail if the PBC continues holding most of their fights and most of their cards on pay-per-view. He said it's just a bad business model. And I'm looking at the comments and people saying hater, and one person saying, what about when he does pay-per-views? Not all his fights are free. I'm thinking, well, how many pay-per-views did he have last year? I mean, and even then, Lomachenko versus Haney, we complained about it because he shouldn't have been pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. But most 90% of their cards were quality cards, and they were on ESPN. So deflection doesn't really work here, because in a way they're just admitting that this pay-per-view is crap. But they just, again, 90% of the motivation from these people on Twitter right now is, please don't point out that this is a shit card. Please stop talking about it. Please don't complain about it. Sorry, man. Look, if there's one, if you want to say that we're biased, blah, 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 fine, you can say that. But there's one thing that's undeniable, is that most of the people that are criticizing this card are hardcore boxing fans. They know boxing. They know what a good matchup is. And they're looking at this and saying,
they'll never criticize Al Haymon. They'll never criticize Al Haymon. Never. We know why.
Hey, BDA Bucho. So, go ahead, bro.
Tim Tszyu versus Bud, that's, for me, would have been a way better matchup for their first pay-per-view on Amazon.
That's what I'm saying, bro. They know they have good matchups they can make, bro. They just don't do it. It's the same shit. It's what PBC always fucking does, bro. It's like they have names. They've always had the names. They've always had the roster. They just don't do shit with it. And you know what's funny, bro? I think Bucho was mentioning that this pay-per-view is going to be near the Ring of Fire one. I bet you that card's going to be way better, and it's going to be half the price. So, like, this whole pay-per-view shit, bro, they're tripping, dude.
That's the DAZN card with AJ?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, wait,
yeah.
Ring of Fire.
To announce the matchups too between DAZN and the other dude? You know how they're doing Frank Warren versus Matchroom?
Oh, yeah.
I believe they're going to announce, they're announcing all the fights that card, so I'm looking forward to that.
I think. Yeah, so they have a bunch of cards like this. The Saudis, man, they're really serious about this. Now, it's gonna work out at the end of the day. We'll see. But so far, they seem to be serious about this. So yeah, that's why the title of this video, or that's why on the thumbnail, I posted like pictures of His Excellency, and Al Haymon, because if you compare what they're doing right now, both of them, His Excellency is doing a much better job for boxing. I mean, you know what I mean? So let's continue talking about this stupid PBC card. Jimmy, you want to give us your thoughts?
Yeah, sure. Well, I got to say, too, like somebody was just mentioned, my guy was just saying there that, people are complaining. Yeah, just saying, like, don't complain about it. See a lot of the usual suspects on Twitter saying that, or X. And another thing that's pissing a lot of people off, especially on that side of the street, is referring to the Prince as His Excellency. That's why I thought it was funny when you said it, Bucho, because they get angry. Fucking calling him that.
What?
Ass Kiss is like, well, baby, because that's his title. Oh, yeah, because when it started off with Eddie Hearn, because Eddie Hearn, when he did his, somebody posted him saying how he talked to His Excellency, and, gives him his respect. Of course, he's talking about, he's going to use his title especially guys, a boxing fan is probably going to look at what Hearn says, and if he doesn't use his title, he's going to get angry. It's like see, basically, when it comes down to, you don't respect nobody or anything. You don't have the, you don't respect somebody's title. The guy, whether it's nepotism or not, it's his title.
Right.
And some people, he's not a prince. No, they're all princes. Everybody in the royal family is princes. It just doesn't mean they're in session to become. But yeah, no, this PBC card, I hear a lot of people defending it online, say, well, it's not that bad. Fucking Keith Thurman's fought once in 4.5 years. The dude is retired, right? Fucking retired. And the undercard. Well, there you go. So you got Isaac Cruz. So you got pretty much one-dimensional guy who was horrible his last outing, whose claim to fame is losing, albeit we went life and death with him, to Davis against that fucking short bus creep. You see that video? Recent video? Well, it was actually in the documentary that BDA made, which I get to recommend everybody, and excellent work. But that video where Romero says, would you rather be on a boxing or having your dick sucked by two chicks? Like, you fucking creep. You're an embarrassment to the sport. Yeah, no, listen.
The new generation.
The faster this the faster this promotion goes bye-bye, the better the health of the sport will be. He hasn't obviously learned anything. That's what you come out with. Like, here's your big revealing. Like, here's your opportunity, right? You get that first chance to make the right impression, and you come out with Tim Tszyu, which nothing against him, but against Keith Thurman. It's just a fucking joke.
No, Jimmy,
so
it's a pay-per-view. And it could have been free. Not free, but it comes with your Prime subscription. But it doesn't. It's a pay-per-view.
Yeah, but Jimmy brought up the point that that's true. There's people that are angry that this dude from Saudi Arabia is being called His Excellency. And Jimmy brought up a good point. It's like, why do these people? This is how you know these guys are reaching. Because what do you want Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren and the others who are businessmen to do? You want him to disrespect the guy and lose all that money? First of all, because the argument is that Saudi Arabia is guilty of human rights violations, which is true. But again, these people are businessmen. They put themselves in that position. What do you want fans to do? You want fans to boycott this event? I mean, I don't get it. Here's the thing. If indeed that's your position, and all of a sudden you care about human rights and all that, how about the rights of all those fighters under the PBC who have been prevented from seeking employment elsewhere, like Michael Zarafa, who
or talking about it,
that he couldn't fight. Yeah, or they're being, because of bad business practices, they've been idle for over 2 years. Guys like Keith Thurman, guys like Stanionis, guys like Erislandy Lara. You don't complain about those guys? You don't care about those guys? I mean, I see a little bit of hypocrisy here. Again, the people that are complaining the most about how, you guys don't keep it real with this promotional outfit, but you love to criticize this one. Whatever you might think about other promotional entities, do you agree or disagree with the fact that this is a bad card and it's not the first one from the PBC? That's what we should be focusing on. The fact that people are bringing up rhetorical fallacies as arguments just lets you know where they stand.
BDA, it's like they want everybody to act like they're in PETA and start protesting Saudi Arabia over human rights violations. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we supposed to do about that?
Social movement.
And another thing too, bro, I wanted to say, bro, they don't like anybody calling him his Excellency because they think we're all Kangs anyways. So they shouldn't be saying that to us.
I'm a king.
That's the other thing, though. It's like I saw somebody say somebody pointed out the fact that Keith Thurman's been idle for over 2 years, and this guy, it's a white dude with a beard who looked like Killer Plant. And look, I hate to stereotype, but I can read people pretty well, and he's probably one of those guys that cried when Kobe Bryant died. And he's like, his reply to the dude that was criticizing the card was, "But you're talking about it." And I go, whoa, okay, so you're not even going to address the points that this is a bad fight. Now you're going to go with you're talking about it. Okay, I guess it's going to be a great pay-per-view success then because everyone's talking about it negatively.
Yeah, they no logic in what they say. It's pure emotion. It's an emotional outburst that they're having right now. Then don't buy it. Then don't buy it. Like, they're basically trying to tell you to shut up. But we're not going to shut up. This is a garbage pay-per-view. Tszyu against Thurman, Romero versus Isaac Cruz, Erislandy Lara. I mean, what is this, 2015, 2016? And then Sebastian Fundora, who's just coming off a loss against Pochachu. I don't know his name. So,
Bucho.
Yeah.
You forgot Ray
How-
Martinez, bro.
How long do you guys think that the PBC can last at Amazon if their first matchup, if this is gonna be their first card?
Yeah.
What other fire can they really bring, bro?
And this is a pay-per-view, so you know damn well that Crawford's gonna be on pay-per-view. You know, Canelo. I don't know. What's the future? What do you think is gonna happen, guys? What are the next cards? What can you like envision? All right, Justin. There's a lot of background noise there. Jimmy, give us your prediction of what you expect from the PBC on Amazon. What's gonna be next?
Well, I can tell you this right now. Amazon has a team and a little army of social media people. Like they comb social media. They're a left-run organization. It is. They all are. All the media organizations are, and they believe in, they ear to the ground type stuff. So I'm telling you right now, they're online and they're seeing. Make no mistake about it. They're seeing what the chatter is. When you sign a deal with something, whether they're forking over money or not, they're allowing them to use their platform. So they're going to see what the response is to the first announced thing. And it is overwhelmingly negative, right? Overwhelmingly negative. So you're going to say now as them, they're going to be like, wait a minute. Everybody's poo-pooing this fucking shit, calling it trash. This is ridiculous. Shouldn't be a pay-per-view. And mind you, Rick Glacier, and I forget who else where I heard on Reddit saying that the people at Prime were adamant they didn't want the first show to be a pay-per-view. They did not want that to go down. So off the bat, right off the rip, Al Haymon's doing what they was asked not to do, if you were to believe what people are saying. And I have no reason to not believe Rick. He's been on the money, a bunch of other things. So, yeah, listen, again, all it is a deal to use a platform. They could have signed with the Zone, and you ask yourself, why wouldn't they? Because it's the same thing. It's an app. It's a streaming service. Everything's in place. Why? Because Al Haymon would have lost control. The micromanaging every aspect of PBC events. And that's just how he is. So, yeah, it's going to go the same way ESPN, Bounce, Spike, CBS, ABC, Showtime, and Fox. I mean, what happened to all those networks? The same thing's going to happen, dude.
Jimmy, do you think
he's a disaster?
Jimmy, do you think Al Haymon thinks or believes that he's going to be able to turn this around, or he knows the end is coming?
No, I doubt that 100%. I believe he's just trying to squeeze every last nickel he can out of the sport. The health of the sport has never been his concern. If anything, I think he prefers to ruin it. I truly, in my heart, believe he hates the sport, going by his own words and people who knew him back in the early 2000s before he even got into boxing. People said he hated boxing, and he hated what it did to his brother Bobby and how they treated him. So, I mean, it's just funny, all the things they ignore. Or the people say, well, the PBC is still going. It ain't dead. No, that's not true. This is a new rendition of the PBC. The original PBC is dead. Remember, we're bringing boxing. We're making it free, getting boxing off pay-per-views.
Sugar Ray
an antiquated, platform. Yeah, all that shit. Remember? They hired the guy spent $500,000 on it. You know, they paid him $500,000 supposedly. I mean, that's what they say they paid him. Who knows? To write the theme song for PBC. Did they even use it anymore? No.
That Hans Zimmer guy.
Oh yeah.
They paid him $500,000.
And they had the entrance.
Originally bought belts.
They had the entrance thing. They had like the whole.
Oh yeah, the big stage and everything. Boom show.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: in order to get that first licensing and the money from Waddell Reed, they had to make all kinds of promises. They told them there was going to be gear and hats and heavy into the promotion. Remember, right even at the start, you go to their page where we're supposed to be able to buy PBC hats, jackets, etc. It was all deleted, no longer available. So they that was all a lie just to secure that money, and that is actually part of the lawsuit with Waddell and Reed when they're suing them, was saying that they were fraud. They did fraudulent practices. They lied to us about certain plans they had, and basically what it came down to, once they couldn't sign Canelo, they knew it wasn't his plan of taking over boxing failed, and from there on in, he was just going to try to get as much as he could.
Hey Jimmy, there's a comment
further.
Can I just
sorry, Butcher.
No, before you go in, just read this comment. Omnipolar Experience in the chat says PBC was originally made to compete with the UFC. they claimed they were gonna put on fights every weekend, and I remember that. I remember hearing that that was one of their plans. A fight every
That was their
weekend.
whole model.
Yeah,
They wanted to monopolize. They wanted to monopolize boxing, and they wanted their own belts. They even whispered about it, but when they couldn't get Canelo, dude, it just everything down the drain, dude.
Look, guys, further to what Jimmy was saying, if you look at it from a business standpoint, I'm not disputing what Al Haymon is serving everyone a shit sandwich. Agreed, and that's wrong for the public. But for him, as what some people say, the greatest trick the devil pulled was convincing the world he doesn't exist. So on that note, Haymon, he wants to squeeze every dime that he has gotten from Waddle and Reed. Okay, what's his way to do that? Minimize expense. So I'm not going to, I'll give promises about hats, merchandise, jackets, whatever. That's an expense. That's money that's not going into his pocket. But money that needs to go into his pocket, he has to find a way and structure a way that he can give the worst product and sell it and then make money from that. So the well's running dry. It's not totally out. He has to still extract whatever millions are left for himself. So the only way he can do that is to get the Amazon deal, serve a shit product, because he can't afford Crawford anymore. He can't. I don't even know if the Canelo shit's going to go down, but hopefully it does. But I mean, maybe his climax fight will be the Benavidez Canelo number. Hopefully he'll have money for that. But I don't know what you guys think in regards to that.
Yeah,
I think.
Go ahead.
I think they need to put David in a Canelo undercard as his fucking co-main, so they can at least make some revenue twice if they are planning the fight actually at the end of the year. Who knows? This first pay-per-view is this shit. They fed us Mexicans in there, and all the Mexicans in that card kind of suck.
This is a bad indication, man. If this is the first, and then already people are trying to save face by saying, wait for the other announcements. But first of all, if we want to take a positive stance on this, is okay. The first cards might have to suck because they have a lot of fighters who have been inactive for over a year, and so eventually they're gonna have to get the rust out. Fine, but again, I reiterate, the main problem is that we shouldn't be watching tune-ups and fights where people are getting the rust off on pay-per-view. Again, that's the main problem, and even the people that are defending this always try to skirt that point because, again, they can't defend the fact that this trash is on pay-per-view. But let's say that they're building up to bigger and better fights. Then that begs the question: how much, if this event is going to be 70 buckaroos, like somebody said in the chat, and how much are the other ones going to be? And that begs the question because look, when they had the Day of Reckoning card, what was it again? At $60 or $50? And that's because they got the Saudis to subsidize them. They could afford to.
Well, if you were, it was cheaper, Mr. BDA, if you were a subscriber.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's because the Saudis could subsidize that card. And let's face the fact, that card wasn't great across the board because there were 7 or 8 fights, and about 4 of those were mismatches. I mean, Opetaya and Hergovich, those fights were, you knew who was going to win on paper. But overall, it became a good fight. Now, this Amazon pay-per-view card could present some fireworks. You never know, man. Maybe Zerafa versus Lara actually proves to be entertaining because the fact that Lara is 40 years old, maybe he can't move anymore well as he could, especially after a 2-year layoff. But the fact remains that on paper, it is not an exciting, enticing fight. That's the main problem, that this is on pay-per-view. Now, if they do build up to other fights, like let's say the winner of this card fights the winner of the next card, okay, but then that begs the question: how much money is it? How much is the next one gonna cost? And like Jimmy said, this isn't a good look because it's not like you're expecting the PBC to all of a sudden change their ways and actually give you quality products. They had that chance.
Why didn't they do it before?
9 years.
Why didn't they do it before?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So it's not a good look. It's not a good outcome.
Hey, for the Canelo Benavidez fight, if that happens, is it possible for Amazon to put down some money for that or no?
They can, but who knows if they will?
Absolutely not. There's not a chance. Not a chance.
Why not?
I remember Amazon Prime. They own CBS. Paramount. That's all the same big company. This right here, it's a niche sport. They don't really give a shit. It was just about signing a deal. And I'm sure, if anything, the PBC had to pay them something. I don't see why they would have paid them, because the reason being, just look at the metrics, right? They just wouldn't have, believe me, they would have had an army of lawyers and their aides looking up all the, retention numbers, how these guys do, what are the numbers these guys put up, Nielsen ratings. And it's always consistently the worst of every Saturday night, like literally. Frank Martin's last fight, and this is the guy too, Frank Martin, that why we should fight Haney, he has a name recognition. Oh, but Frank Martin, the guy who could barely crack 100,000 out of 35 million subscribers. You could barely crack 100,000 to watch his fights. Please. It's just smoke and mirrors, and these people, like you said, trying to defend the indefensible just makes you look like what you are, a fucking Haymon nut hugger fanboy.
Hey, what's up, guys? What's up? You guys can hear me all right?
Yeah, we can.
What's up, man?
Yo. So basically, when it comes to Al Haymon, you have to give him credit, man. This dude consistently finds way to secure funding, even though his numbers suck. Like, it's really amazing.
He has no funding.
This guy.
He has no funding.
This guy
What funding? What funding?
No funding. Well, you know what I mean. Like, he's consistently securing these positions. If you guys recall, you remember the hedge fund that gave Haymon like a bunch of money? I forget the name of the fund, but basically there was some hedge fund. Yep, and they got, they ended up pursuing legal action, I believe, over Haymon, basically taking the money and wasting it. But this is the thing with Haymon. He consistently either secures funding or secures some sort of network deal. He must have the gift of the gab.
Yeah, that's what it is, bro. Because I know you're trying to big up Haymon and trying to be funny. Is this dude knows how to suck dick like no other, bro?
Yeah, that's one thing I mentioned months ago too. That the fact that this guy can manage to somewhat survive, because again, if he was thriving right now, or if the company was thriving, I would agree with that point. But they're essentially secured a distribution deal where they have to put up their own money. The public perception and public image is that these guys are jokes because of the shit product they're putting on a pay-per-view. And then and on top of that, like people are saying, the woman who's apparently the executive over at Amazon that secured this deal was fired recently. So her performance might not have been the best if we want to go down the route. Because again, I'm just assuming here. If her performance wasn't the best, then it's because she was making shit deals, and this is just part of another shit deal. And the interesting thing about that is that, again, this distribution deal, where is it gonna go? Where's it going? I have a friend of mine. At least I got to give some people points for that glass half full approach, because I got a friend of mine who gets fired from every other job. And, I don't go around praising him, though, saying, man, this guy has the gift of gab because he keeps getting himself employment, and then he gets fired every 3 months later. I mean, they're doing something. He's doing something.
BDA, let me ask you something, bro. Excuse
me, you're interrupting. So, yeah, so you're getting fired right afterwards. There's some inconsistency going on here.
Hey, is it never his fault?
That's the question, right? That's the question.
But this, look, I'll say this, because I didn't know about the whole no funding thing, so he has to put up his own money.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, this looks like it's Al Haymon on his last legs, right?
Yeah.
And it looks like this is basically, because, I mean, usually what happens is, Top Rank with ESPN, for instance, ESPN gives them a budget, they give them the dates, so they literally get the money to pay the fighters and whatever. Al Haymon is now having to do these shitty pay-per-views to try and scrape some fucking peanuts for his fighters. You can't tell me that Lara and Zarafa, who, by the way, is actually a part-time stripper, is going to be pulling in like a six-figure payday off of this. I'm not joking about the part-time stripper. I can actually link something.
Yeah, that's true.
Was Zarafa yapping about that?
That's well documented. That's well documented. His outside the ring activities. But look, listen. I just want to make it clear too again that I was rooting for the PBC when they started out in 2015, because when they said free boxing back on network TV, I was like, holy smokes. And I got an Amazon Prime account. I would love it if they could show good boxing, but if they show a crap product, what am I just supposed to sit by and say?
And
yeah,
on
it's a good
pay-per-view.
product? I gotta.
Hey, the
And on
worst is when
pay-per-view.
they say that you gotta pay for the fights to support boxing, otherwise you're not a proper fan. It's like, what do I have to keep paying for a woman if she doesn't if she doesn't give me anything? Because otherwise I'm a misogynist or something.
Exactly. It just doesn't make sense. These people just want to defend Al Heyman because we know why. But at some point, these people gotta stop it. They gotta wake up, or at least
Hey,
shut the fuck up.
Hey, Bucho, let me since I got Justin here, bro, and that Jamal Charlo and Canelo fight is looking like it's gonna be more official. I would like to say, if you can dig into the archives, bro, I think I caught a wet fish a couple months ago that wanted to bet on Jamal Charlo versus Canelo. I think he's in the chat right now. Justin, are you still down? Because that fight's finna happen, bro.
Hey, this is something interesting I've seen. A lot of black
I'm
dudes are
asking
saying,
Justin, bro. I'm trying to ask Justin, bro. If he still wants to make that
I'm
bet.
looking. Charlo will beat Canelo if it happens. That was Justin. Oh, I got it.
yeah, I'm here.
June 16th. June 16th. How
Yeah.
the fuck do you remember that shit? Yeah.
Oh, because I've been waiting for this fight for years, bro.
damn, bro.
Oh, man.
This dude's been waiting for you.
June the 16th. It's written down here. All right.
So was we still on Justin? Or what? You still think Jamal can win?
Nah, I don't think so. I didn't like the way he looked, and not just that. It's just that I don't know. I don't think he's ready yet. To be honest with you, for Canelo, I think it'll be a competitive fight. Though. I think
But that was a brother, though. And are you saying based on
I think he'll be better because I
Jamal?
think Jamal's bigger. If you've seen Jamal's actually bigger, even though they're identical twins.
What was Jamal's last
Like,
fight?
how much bigger is he? Like half an inch?
They're the same.
Yeah.
shape.
But in frame, he's just a little. If you see, I've actually seen a picture of them, like facing each other. He made him. I don't know how, but he made him look like a mini me, like a mini version. Jamal. That's pretty much Jamal.
This is what I don't get, bro. Canelo completely washes that dude's identical twin, and the conclusion that some people come to is that the other identical twin will beat Canelo.
That's the evil twin, bro.
I mean, I just don't get it. They're basically the same people. Let's just keep it real.
Yeah,
and
they
they were
are.
even raised together, so it's like they even had the same upbringing. They're the same genetically, and they're the same environmentally. So I don't see what the
Hey.
thing is. Like, you think that half an inch and I don't know, maybe like 3 pounds or something is going to make a difference? If you look at Jamal Charlo, he wasn't smaller than Canelo either. Yeah, he might have fought at a smaller weight class, but I often say this, a weight bully moving up is just someone finally fighting people his own size.
Okay, but will Jamal?
and-
Would he be more aggressive though, or would he fight like his
No.
brother, which was very like
They're both the same, Bucho. They're both athletes that happen to box. Neither one of them are fighters. You saw that when fucking Caleb Plant fucking slapped the taste out of Maul's mouth, and he waited till security was there before he acted like a tough guy. But remember, fucking remember like Mr. BDA said how he went from USA to fucking I'm doing this for the culture, y'all. The culture that they hate on, the culture that they talk about.
Yeah. what the fuck?
How did that work out for the culture?
Yeah.
I noticed that with these guys, it's always USA, but then when it's like Ngannou or something, they sure fanboy over that dude.
That's true. That's true.
It's like there's something else going on. I can't
No,
quite
well,
put my finger on
Yeah,
it.
me neither. I don't know what it is. I remember that they were huge.
What are you suggesting, buddy?
Wait, Rigondeaux fans. They were big Rigondeaux fans as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But
And David Morrell. And David Morrell's part of the culture too now, so there's that. Even though he don't speak no English.
by the way, people in the chat saying smash the like. Yes, please hit the like button if you're enjoying the show. Don't forget to hit the like. All right, so Justin doesn't want to bet. All right, let's remove that.
For real, Justin, you backing out, bro? Don't do that, dude.
People,
I've been waiting, dude.
people in the chat are saying don't back out. You can't back out now, but like, I mean, you can if you
Yeah,
want.
back out.
You can if
But
you
the
want.
fight, it doesn't even look like the fight's a thing.
It's gonna happen, bro.
Alright.
Why is it Canelo fighting Benavidez? That's the fight that we want to see.
Because
happen. It's gonna happen.
Well,
I mean,
Mirage wants to see that for
people
sure.
actually think that Canelo's afraid of Benavides, which I don't understand.
No, I'm not. I'm not implying that he's afraid. I'm just wondering why isn't that fight happening? I haven't been paying attention to a lot of boxing news lately, but I would have thought that that fight would be the logical next fight. I mean, it sure seems like there's demand for it.
Ask your boy Mirage.
I agree. It should be next, but if they do that, think about this, right? They have a 3-fight deal. If they do that fight next, who's going to hang around for the third one?
Yeah.
How are they going to sell the third one? You know what I mean? If that's a throwaway fight.
That's what I'm saying. They need to put David Benavides in the co-main with Canelo's next pay-per-view.
Maybe that would
really
That's-
trying to sell
They're
the
going to
fight
build that up,
for the
man.
third one.
That has to be the climactic
I
fight.
agree with that.
Right, or you
That
can
has
have
to be the
Benavides fight,
climactic fight.
or you can have Benavides fight a week before Canelo or 2 weeks before, so you start to build it up. That's what they probably want to do.
I could sort of see that. Get him like a bum bash or something for the casuals. Like, oh, Canelo's ducking this guy. You know.
Yeah, marinate it a bit. Although I agree with you, I agree, like they should
But
fight.
still,
like
I would like to see it next. To me, the Charlo fight it seems kind of pointless because we all know what's going to happen. It's basically going to be Canelo versus Charlo 2.0. That's really all it is.
Exactly. But listen,
It's gonna be hard to sell. It's gonna be hard to sell.
Amazing fight. Stop hating.
Exactly. What's the selling point? Most casuals will look at this fight and be like, "Why the fuck is Canelo fighting the same dude that he fought last time? He beat the shit out of him."
They won't even think about.
They're literally not even gonna know that it's a different dude.
Right,
No,
exactly.
boys, it's Canelo Alvarez. It's his modus operandi. He has to fight siblings. He's taking out brothers across the fucking board. No,
This is
he
the
has to
third
fight.
pair.
Yeah. So he has to do it. He has to do it. It's now his lucky rabbit's foot. You got to take out both brothers, man.
He changed his nickname. I changed Canelo to the Black Executioner. He's
There you go.
7-1 against black fighters. Go look at his
He's
record.
the Haymon.
Shane
He's
Mosley
the
only
Haymon
lost to
now.
fucking Floyd. Shane Mosley has only lost to Floyd, so Canelo, the Black Executioner Alvarez, bro.
Great name. Look, guys, you know why the fight needs to happen? Because Canelo's been ducking this dude for fucking 10 years, okay? If you hear it right from out those two brothers' mouths, he's been ducking him for 10 fucking years. I've been reading nothing but comments for years, bro, how this dude would knock Canelo out, how he would school him. Oh, he could beat up that dude, but he would never do nothing to the Charlos, right? It doesn't matter that the little Charlo stepped up and fucking, laid a fucking egg. The big one, he's better. He's more talented. Canelo's been chasing this fight, bro, since 2019, right? It's the first time they offered this fight, bro. And now people don't want it because it's looking like it's obvious that Jamal can't win. This is a fight that people have been wanting for years. It's a fight I've been wanting for years. Eddie Reynoso said it years ago, we have to fight Jamal Charlo. This has to be on our record. It was always a goal of theirs to fight this dude, bro. So now it's time.
This is borderline just stat padding at this point. But, it is what it is. You're definitely right that people are now saying Jamal Charlo is better. But before the fight, they were saying... they were saying
Right.
Jamal Charlo was top 10 pound for pound. I was saying, how is this guy top 10 pound for pound? When I watch him, he just seems like a dude with good physical ability and... he fights a lot smaller guys. I mean, let's keep it real. Brian Castano was way fucking smaller than him.
But you know
He's
what?
way
I mean,
shorter.
for me, there's no longer any
Yeah.
satisfaction in Canelo beating Jamal because there's no Jamal doesn't even have support from, for example, the LDBC anymore.
Exactly.
So there's no satisfaction. Like, they even admit that he's gonna get stopped or lose. So I don't really.
Yeah, it's completely lost its luster.
Yeah, it's lost. And Jamal has only fought in like 2
I'm going to be happy
champions
about that, guys.
throughout
I'm
his
going
whole
to be happy.
career. And one of them was old, like 40 years old.
Hey, fight Crawford next. That's what I want to see.
Ah man,
Hey, bro, that's what I want too. I want Charlo.
just because
I want
I'd like
Crawford
to
and then
see it.
Haney. Fuck it.
I'd like
Bro,
to see it just
who
because of
the
the fan
fuck is
base.
the real pound for pound?
They really think Crawford
Yeah.
can stop Canelo's, and I mean stop. They think he can stop Canelo. I'm like, these people are.
Yeah, they really did. They a lot of people believe that. It's crazy, man. People just get out of hand. They just get out of
So
hand.
did you, bro. Now you don't want to bet.
Hey, they were saying that Jerron Ennis would school Canelo.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I got a clip where some dude saying, you know, Jermell could never do it. You need someone who listens to their trainer like Crawford or Ennis. They're the ones who can do it. Yeah, brother.
So that was a problem.
Let Canelo fuck all of them up. Let Canelo fuck all of them up, bro. Fuck it.
Jesus.
But this is the thing, right? They don't want these black fighters to move up in weight, but everyone moves up in weight to fight these black dudes. It's like, you know, you can move up 2, 3, 4 weight classes. They'll still find a black dude like a 1 or 2 more weight classes above you. So really, like 4 or 5 weight classes bigger than you, and they'll say, "Oh, but you won't fight him though." You
Well,
won't fight him.
they want
Like,
guys. They want Inoue to fight Tank Davis.
Yeah, and then when you finally go up, right, to your 5th or 6th weight class, fight a guy way fucking bigger than you, lose like a split decision or something, they say, "Oh, I knew he wasn't shit. I knew he wasn't shit."
Yep.
And it's like their prediction was like the dude would stop him in 4 rounds and style on him. But it's like a split decision, and they're like, "I knew he wasn't shit. I knew that guy wasn't shit, man."
Yeah, look, that reminds me of somebody who comes on here a lot. You know what I mean? They pick Stephen Fulton to school in a way, you know, 12-0. And then he gets knocked the fuck out, and then next thing you hear is, "I bet he won't do that to Tank though. He won't do that to Tank though."
And here's the thing: if he did it to Tank, he won't do that to Shakur though.
No, he never has.
It's never enough with these dudes, man. It's never enough. And even if he cleans all of them out, there'll be someone new coming up who they'll say, "Oh, but he's ducking this guy though."
Well, wait for Camille Motion.
You talking about my brother Rare Breed, man. Don't talk about Rare Breed like that, man.
They better
The
look
guy
like
Breach with fire. Those guys like Breach with fire, we don't see him anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you guys want to hear some go to BDA's the year 2023, his documentary he breaks down Inoue Fulton, and he really goes into detail about the commentary and how it was so racialized, and how black trainers, I mean, guys are in the business, were giving him no chance whatsoever. Not only no chance, we're insulted at the suggestion that you would have him a top fucking pound for pound fighter, basically admitting you've never seen this kid fight, you know nothing of him, and he's Asian, so you're just discounting him out of hand. And every last one of you got egg on your face, because not only did he bash the dog snot out of fucking Stephen Fulton, he outboxed him, he outmaneuvered him, he out-footworked him. Every facet of the game, he took a schooling in. So y'all don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're racially motivated, and you're fucking ignorant, and it blew up in your face.
That's
When I saw Inoue beat Fulton, one thing came to mind. I thought Inoue, he more athletic, he got more hand speeds, more footworks, more dog.
But yeah, but I would like to see. That's the same thing they did with Crawford, man. Crawford when he destroyed Spence, because they were shitting on Crawford for 5 years, and then when he destroyed Spence, I'm like, man, well, there were a couple of Spence fans that gave him credit, but the rest of them that were hating before, they were looking for an excuse to try to take away Crawford's win.
Yo, you know what? You guys might hate me for this, man. I'm gonna take a hot take, but I think Terrence Crawford, Bud's his athletic ability and athleticism could get him possibly to win over Canelo, because Dimitri Bivol.
I believe you.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, man, is that Dimitri Bivol, he kind of exposed Canelo in the context of you need that level of athleticism, that nonstop kind of movement. And I think Terrence has that shit. You know what I mean?
Did you see how Bivol fought Canelo, bro? He was on the ropes a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but what I'm saying is
it was movement. It was movement in size. But it's the size, though. It's not just the movement. It's the size. He can have all that movement. When you're physically smaller than Canelo, you negated that movement. Isn't going to help you in the same way.
I was one of the people who picked Bivol to win. You can go back, check the YouTube,
Whatever.
But I'll say this about Bivol. I'm honestly not that impressed with that fight looking back. Canelo had him backed up against the ropes and was throwing big shots that Bivol was catching on his arms. If that's Crawford trying to catch those same shots, just by looking at size and dimensions, those shots that bruised up Bivol's arms are gonna fucking break Crawford's arms.
Right.
That's Jimmy's. Like,
That's what happened.
It's a smaller guy.
He was catching him on the arms, and it fucked up his bicep.
Bro, Canelo lost to a bigger man by decision. That's not that bad. You know, come on. A bigger man.
No, I agree with you. But what I'm saying is, Bivol just he just showed the blueprint in the context of what to kind of do and then excessively do.
Do you think a smaller man can do that?
No. Hear me out, man. Hear me out, bro. Is that he ain't gonna get a fucking KO. He ain't gonna get a TKO. There's no way. There's only winning chance is a points decision. You know what I'm saying? His only fucking chance is a points decision. So how do you get that? You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, look, this guy's speaking a lot of sense, dude. This will be an amazing matchup. I want to see Canelo versus Crawford after Jamal Charlo.
He has a chance.
No, I agree. I want to see it. Let's just see it. That's
if Crawford has a chance, a good chance, then why not give him that opportunity to make history?
And most of all, don't make excuses if Canelo wins. You know, let's not say he was too big, because we all know about the skills that Crawford has, right? This guy is the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world.
Don't forget, skills pay the bills. You feel me?
Right.
Exactly. And don't forget power.
Yeah.
Finish, brother.
What you saying? Power of Grayskull?
Don't forget the power of the black style of boxing.
It's intimidating.
Well, I'll admit that, man. I'm a huge Crawford fan. I think he is extremely talented. He can hit hard with both hands. Yeah. But you're asking a man to go up 3 weight classes.
No, exactly.
So my point being, it's a lose-lose for Canelo, because you beat the guy right away. Everybody out of hand is going to say, "Yeah, dude came up 3 weight classes, dude. What are you bragging about?" Right, so like it does his legacy no good. It's a cash grab, and that's all it is. And if I was Crawford, I'd be fixated on unifying a 3rd division. Unify 154 and retire, dude. Unify 3 divisions and check out.
I think that Tim Tszyu might beat Crawford. Honestly, going up in your 4th division in 37, I don't like that.
Tim Tszyu is not bigger than Crawford, though. That's the thing. I have like a hot take about Crawford's pound for pound status. For me, it's still reserved because I haven't seen him fight anyone bigger than himself. I haven't seen him fight anyone definitively bigger than him. I mean, you look at Crawford and you say he's moved up. Oh, come on. Do you think Spence was bigger than Crawford?
Yeah, he was. Definitely looked bigger than Crawford.
He was bigger, man. Come on.
I disagree, because the way I view bigger than is it's got to be height, reach, and weight. So you got to take all into consideration.
So Postol wasn't. I mean, Postol looked big though, but he was.
Well, I mean,
but if you look at Crawford, this dude rehydrates a lot as well.
But when you say bigger, you got to be more, specific. You're being vague. He could be bigger overall, like.
Yeah, but I'm saying height, reach. I take height, reach, weight all into consideration. When you look at Spence and Crawford, do you think there's a 10-pound difference in weight on fight night? I don't. I think this may be a 5 or 6 pound difference.
Nah, I think there's him and Spence. I think there was a bigger. Way bigger.
Wait, L-Dog, you said bigger. It has to be everything. Weight, reach.
Yeah, everything.
Okay.
He's trying to say he's got to be in a disadvantage.
So if Crawford fights Canelo, is Canelo bigger?
Okay,
that's what I want to do.
Hold on. For that, I'll make there have to be exceptions somewhere, right? For I'll make an exception.
Your definition is shit.
Why exception from A and B and not B? I mean, why no exception for A but B?
Yeah, that's the thing. Boxing isn't mathematics. Sometimes an exception can be made, right? And this is an example of one of them. For instance,
no, it's just that your definition is flawed. Your definition is terrible.
What?
That's what's happening.
Boxing is mathematics. That's why there's weight classes.
Yeah,
right. Boxing is mathematics. Do you really think that the inner city Americans would be dominating?
So 147 and 140. That's not mathematics.
They're not no more, bro.
Oh,
Hey,
I'm just saying.
you guys
I'm just
think
saying.
that,
Boxing.
oh
boxing.
my god! I can't believe I'm
You make no
boxing.
fucking sense, man.
If boxing is mathematics, do you think Tank Davis would be one of the most known?
So factors and variables like reach, weight, and height. That's not. Oh my.
You
What,
doesn't
you
make
guys think
sense,
that?
man.
You think that John what's his name? John Ryder's gonna get stopped? I think John Ryder's gonna get stopped against Munguia. I think he's getting close. He's on his 1 foot out.
Jaime.
I mean, yeah, Jaime's gonna beat him by TKO. They're gonna stop the
Maybe.
fight.
I'll be honest. I was impressed with Ryder against Canelo.
I
He's
wasn't.
tough.
I thought he was just
I
very
mean,
durable.
No, he's durable.
He looked
Canelo
better
was
against Calvin Smith.
hold on, guys. Let me just read the super chat.
Yeah, I thought he won that fight.
Guys, hold on. Let me just
Yeah,
read
he
the
looked
super
very
chat.
good.
Let
He
me
was
read the
using
super
his head
chat
really
here.
very well in that
Rapax
fight.
Trucking Company, thank you for your super chat. He says, from now on, I will be known as His Excellency Rapax Trucking. All right, I will call you His Excellency now.
We call him
Bucho,
Kang.
I'm having a hard time hearing you. I don't know if everybody else is, but I'm having a hard time hearing you, Bucho.
you sound
No, I
like
tried
you're
to say that
low,
earlier.
brother.
You sound low, Bucho.
Yeah,
All
you
right,
gotta get that mic, Bucho.
Before I fix my sound, let me just read a super chat from Sursayer. Sursayer says, hold on. Sursayer says, Chris Benoit didn't do it. Eddie didn't have a heart attack. You guys need to look into this, Bucho. Are you talking about Eddie Bravo? No, what's his name?
Eddie
No,
Guerrero.
Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Bravo's the other guy. Yeah, Eddie
the wrestler.
Guerrero. Nah, that guy was juiced, man. He for sure. Had a heart
There's
attack.
a
Yeah, and Chris
there's a
Benoit has
crazy
like a.
theory.
Anyways, we'll talk about wrestling some other time, man. Go ahead, guys.
I was just gonna say on that. There's a crazy theory that they were actually gay lovers, and that Benoit lost his mind when Eddie Guerrero died. This is a real theory, by the way. This is a real theory.
Yeah,
If you
I heard
Google
that
it, it's like an actual established theory. I don't know.
Yeah, it makes sense.
That Brokeback Mountain type of shit.
They were just butt buddies, you know?
Yeah, it could be. That would explain it. Yeah, about Ryder, John Ryder against Canelo. Who was impressed by John Ryder? I mean, the guy is tough.
Me,
I'll give you that.
honestly, I was impressed. I was thinking that he wouldn't, and a lot of people disagreed with me, man. I watched this fight and I was thinking, you know what, this is a lot closer than I thought it would be. He kept it competitive in a lot of the rounds.
Competitive, but not close. Yeah.
I mean,
You
maybe.
gotta take into consideration, he was never off his feet. I mean, he was claimed to have had a knockdown, but it really wasn't a knockdown in that first fight, which was a robbery when it really wasn't even a loss. So he never touched the canvas. He's as tough as nails. He's just, a little bit limited. I didn't like the way Canelo was, but I think Canelo wasn't really giving it his all either. He was trying to one-shot the guy. I would have liked to see him kind of let his punches go more, like flow in his punches. I think he's loading up too much.
Yeah, that's the big
Instead
problem.
of just letting his hands go naturally.
Yeah, this is a big problem with Canelo. He's got to stop doing that. And if he's going to do it, he's got to take an angle after he hits you. Like anyway, did it against Marlon before he dropped him in the fourth round. Like he loaded a shot up and then he took. Canelo does not do that. He loads up and then he's still in front of you. That's why Bivol wasn't concerned. He knew that that Canelo would still be there after he loaded up.
And you know what? Everybody who spars him, they always say the same thing. People who spar him, when you grab him, you don't realize how fucking solid he is. It's like grabbing granite. The dude's hot. I mean, he's just fucking strong as an ox. For a little dude, he's got big wrist joints. He's got thick calves, big legs. I mean, he's a solid dude. He's powerful, and he's got that
look,
fucking
Mexican beef
strength
goes
too,
a
man.
long way, man. The Guadalajaran beef goes a long way, kids.
Well, yeah, that was clenbuterol is what he tested positive for.
Come on, bro.
You know what I'm saying, dude. I know.
Everybody acts like fucking Canelo's using this to gain 15 pounds of muscle like fucking Wilder did mysteriously in between the second fight with him and Fury, bro. What fucking clenbuterol is a diuretic. If you don't know what diuretic is,
he's naturally he has a lot of fucking muscle and shit. and he can. My guess is
That's not natural.
genetically he probably can gain weight. That's the issue. Like he's above 35 now, right? So I think a lot of these, especially fucking Mirage's boyfriend.
no, he's 32.
That motherfucker. Yeah,
He's 33, turning
especially
34.
Mirage's fucking boyfriend,
July.
fucking Benavidez.
Oh, okay.
That motherfucker has to be on drugs nonstop to make weight because he's naturally a fat boy from the very get go. So that motherfucker needs every type of fucking cutting diuretic to make weight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I agree with the Mark. I agree 100% with him. I'm not saying Canelo's clean because I personally believe he took something between the first and second fight. But listen, somebody with that kind of money, worth hundreds of millions of dollars, doesn't go to fucking take clenbuterol like some fucking chick who works at the mall. He gets on a plane, probably a private plane, flies to Germany, gets blood work, and has his own GH engineered just for his fucking DNA. You know what I mean? He's not fucking around with clenbuterol with that cucker.
Stacking excessive mass like that, that's fucking not natural.
Well, basically, all these guys are using something, man. I mean, you guys use the Wilder example. I mean, yeah, Wilder gains how much muscle in between that? Because his body fat percentage looked roughly the same. Just visually, he gained all that muscle and then he lost it all again. And I mean, it's, you know.
And the problem is, everybody says everybody just let everybody take it, and then everybody's on the same playing field. The problem is, PEDs are super expensive. So if you're just a fighter on the way up, and God forbid you get a couple of kids, you ain't got the money for that shit. Especially growth hormone.
Here's the thing, though, Jimmy. It might be expensive in the beginning, and then there's going to be so much competition that prices are going to drop.
But it's not. But the quality won't be good. That's the problem.
Nah, quality is better.
To be fair, man, the PED market isn't exactly a standard free market. It's not like you could just buy Canelo's PEDs off his doctor exclusively for Canelo.
Like, people I know, people for years. It hasn't been like probably 10 years, but for probably 10 years, everybody I know who did juice would bring me their fucking gear for me to look at it, and I would say conservatively, 50% of the stuff I saw was knockoff, wasn't real. It was counterfeit. Not saying it doesn't have some.
Hey Jimmy, was it the stuff that Dana White? Hey Jimmy, was it the stuff that Dana White was selling?
Yeah, exactly. Like what Dana White would do would take one bottle of Cestonon. I'm not Cestonon. Test suspension, which is the oldest testosterone steroid made. It was made in the 1940s by the Germans. It's testosterone suspended in water, so it's a water-based injectable, and they're always the most painful. That's just a side note. But basically, what he would do is take one bottle and make 3. But he wouldn't do it in a clean room. So he'd be doing it with, like, you know how, like, if you look in a room and there's a sunlight coming into a room, you'll see air particles just floating in the air. So if one of that shit gets in the stuff and you shoot that into your fucking ass or your leg, you end up with hematomas that end up having to be cut out. And that's what happened with Dana, man. He got some people sick and shit because they were making it in some fucking apartment in Revere. They weren't mixing
What's this about Dana White? I've never heard
but you
about
can always
this.
tell too if you grab a steroid just to let you guys know it shouldn't twist. The cap should not twist easily because it's put on by machines, and the labels should always meet perfectly in the back. They should not be on uneven. They put on uneven. That's because they're being put on by hand.
No, I was about to say something about the cap, but
Dana White used to sell steroids. That's what he used to do back when he lived here in Boston. He was the manager at the gym I worked out with at South Boston. He was the manager of South Boston. First, he started off with selling gym subscriptions back when that was a good gig. I mean, you could make fucking pretty decent money, $1,000+ a week just selling memberships. But then he moved on to the assistant manager of that gym, and because he was assistant manager, he had access to just, he was selling what he wanted. But like greed took over, and what he would do was buy one bottle and then of Cestonon, like I said, test suspension, and make 3 bottles out of it. So
Jimmy, should we say allegedly though? Should we say allegedly or?
Okay, yeah, all right, allegedly. I mean, I never personally bought it, but I know. All right, allegedly, a good friend of mine, who was a good friend of mine, not any longer, he turned into an asshole after he signed with the WWE. This kid Ross Shea, big monster of a man, and it ended up costing him his career because he ended up getting a hematoma in his thigh and had a big chunk of his thigh surgically removed, and it cost him his WWE career, allegedly.
All right. By the way, super chat from Sursayer. Another one says El Dog. He's in Spanish. He says, "¿Cuánto tiene que te rompen el hocico?" How long has it been since you got your mouth broken jaw? I don't know how you. And he says, "Talk shit about Eddie and Chris. Hey, you guys keep ignoring my calls on the show. I am banned. I know I am. You're not banned. I don't know what you're talking about. You're paranoid against Sursayer. You can jump on if you want right now. Anyway, thanks for the super chat." But yeah, anyways,
I don't know how to respond to that.
I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about. Forget about Dana White, man. How did you? Oh yeah, we were talking about. Somebody mentioned Canelo and the whole meat, and then somebody mentioned Wilder. Yeah, this guy is suspicious as fuck. You know, he sometimes he would fight at 212 pounds, and then for that Fury, the second fight, he weighed in at 233. And then again, he's back down to 220, I think.
He hit like 240 something in the third fight, and now he's back down to like 209 or something crazy. Like
the head I actually fought at, I believe, was 237 or 232. He was in the 230s. That's the heaviest weight that he actually fought at. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, they're all doing something, but the smart guys are doing growth hormone because you keep what you gain. If you're doing just steroids, especially testosterones, androgens, where you just male hormones, you're going to lose a majority of that, especially if you don't come off right. You don't take Clomid or things to turn your nuts back on, because then you're going to go through that withdrawal period where your body just doesn't, you can't get a pump. You'll get listless, depressed.
Would you say, Jimmy, male homos? What? Male homos?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's two steroids. There's androgenic and androbolic.
Yeah, but there's also exceptions to the rule. Like, for instance, like an asthma pump.
Hey, by the way, guys, since we're talking about
the Bivol pump, opens up your bronchial tubes.
Since we're talking about Wilder and all that, I want to switch the topic here. I've got a bit of a hot take. I'm starting to think that Tyson Fury is one of the biggest frauds and hype jobs in all of boxing. I'm honestly starting to think that because look, I'll just put it to you this way. Yeah, he had the good fight he had a shit fight against Klitschko that he just happened to win. Let's keep it real, that fight was boring, it sucked, it didn't look like Klitschko was going for the kill. So to me, it was one of those fights that it looked like it was a bad night for Klitschko at the very least. Now you can say Fury made him have a bad night, whatever. But since he's come back, who has he fought? He fought Sefer Seferi, Francisco Pianeta, right? And then he fought Deontay Wilder, got knocked down twice by Wilder, who, just lost to Joseph Parker, who was realistically like a contender level guy. But he got schooled by a contender level guy. Absolutely schooled by a contender level guy. So, look, I'm just starting to question Fury now because this dude got knocked down 4 times against Deontay Wilder, who cannot compete against contender level opponents.
Yeah, he did a good thing. He found Wilder, and he used Wilder as a way to get back into the heavyweight division because he was fucked up. He was doing all types of things he shouldn't be doing. He was like doing cocaine. He was fat. So he used that to motivation, and now he's making millions of dollars.
Isn't Fury undefeated, guys? Isn't he undefeated, though?
Well, yeah, let me ask you guys. Was anybody saying Tyson Fury is an all-time great after the Klitschko fight? No.
Yeah, they were, though. Right? They were.
So the whole all-time great label came upon them after the Wilder fights. So I agree 100% with what you're saying. Yes, he is overrated because his greatness is all predicated off beating somebody with probably the worst fundamentals I've ever seen in my life.
I agree.
On a side note, Joe Rogan,
I'm great to you guys. Is Crawford considered an all-time great?
Crawford is a lineal champion.
Is Crawford considered an all-time great to you guys?
No, he's not. He's Hall of Famer to me.
But Joe Rogan is partially responsible for that, for hyping up Wilder, man.
Yeah, he did.
And Fury, and both. He said Fury, when he was talking about the Ngannou, he said he believes Ngannou beat Fury, and then he's saying in Fury,
I thought he beat him
he's
too.
probably one of the best heavyweights of all time. That's what Joe Rogan said.
Oh,
Obviously, these guys know.
Fury's the most.
Joe Rogan doesn't know shit about
but he doesn't
boxing.
understand
Everybody
it.
knows this.
Listen, I had the Fury and Ngannou fight. I had it like 6 rounds to 4 for Fury, so I think he won the fight, right? But he looked bad in that fight, man. And I'm just saying, like, this dude got knocked down against Steve Cunningham, Francis Ngannou, Deontay Wilder multiple times. It took him 3 fights to beat Wilder, who Joseph Parker easily beat in 1 fight. I'm really, and even Otto Wallen, who's like, what would you say, a fringe contender?
Not only that, L-Dog, okay,
what do you mean
I
it took
understand,
3 fights
okay,
for
he
him
got
to
dropped
beat
by
Wilder?
Cunningham.
Dumb shit.
Just look at Fury's record. Break it down. It's not, I mean, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Anthony Joshua has a better record.
Oh,
he has better
100%.
names.
100%.
Yeah.
But you know, he's a good talker, and you know, he got the American public, he got the British people on. He some, I don't know how, but he got back in good terms with them. But before they hated him, they hated him.
It didn't take him 3 fights to beat anybody. It took Wilder 3 fights to beat Fury, and he couldn't beat him in 3 fights.
Yeah, but that's true. But guys, now think about it, though. It doesn't matter what we say right now. If he beats Alexander Usyk in 3 weeks or something like that, a lot of people are gonna be saying that, yeah, Fury is an all-time great. That's a reality, though, right? Who disagrees with this, though? This is what's gonna people are gonna be
when that
saying
happens,
he's
this
great.
dingle-eating bastard is gonna have to eat his words, my brother.
Hey, look, if Fury beats Usyk legitimately, right? Legitimately, and doesn't cheat against him, because this is another thing about Tyson Fury. The dude is a serial cheater. Look at how he fought Steve Cunningham. Look at how he fought Steve Cunningham. Look at how he fought against Ngannou. This dude is throwing elbows, rabbit punching, clinching. This dude is like a
Is that because he's punching down and he's so big and stuff like that, or do you guys really think he's that dirty, though?
That elbow was obvious, man.
It was so obvious. I don't know how.
You know what he was trying to do, actually? You know what he was trying to do there was muscle memory for an MMA fighter. So he's thinking, okay, look, if I'm seeing that I'm getting my ass.
I don't want to hear that, bro.
No. Hey, look, no, think about it. This is giving Tyson Fury way too much credit for being kind of intellectual. But what I'm saying is, if he gets to, he knows that the ref is going to lean his way. If he sneaks in an elbow, and for some reason Francis fucking just reacts and throws an elbow back to him, disqualified. Francis will be disqualified, not fucking Tyson Fury. You understand what I'm saying?
I think he was trying to gas him. I think he was trying to gas his eye open to get the fight called.
Yeah, I don't.
To be honest, I don't think Fury was thinking like 4D chess, bro. I don't think Fury is like that.
Why would you think like that?
I know, I get it. I get it. He's a dumb fucker. But like, if Sugar Hill said in the corner, "Hey, muscle memory, man, you just throw an elbow in there, see how Ngannou reacts, and then we'll get the disqualification. Boom, you're out of here. You get your money."
Why would you want to win by DQ when you could just beat him by decision?
Because he's a dirty fucking piece of shit. He's a 320-pound fucking baby, right?
Fury is damn near.
You're making it seem like Fury had no chance against Francis.
Yeah, come on. That Fury was out of shape, man. He wasn't. I'm not gonna make any excuses, but it's a reality.
I do agree he was out of shape, but I'll say this: how many excuses can we give for this man? Like Otto Wallen, Deontay Wilder, Francis Ngannou. Who was that other guy way back in the day who dropped him too? Like that dude from Bosnia or whatever.
No, he's shit. Tyson Fury's shit. There's no other ways around it. He's garbage.
In the chat, we have FUTV. I think it's Julio. He says, you guys are saying stuff I've been saying forever. Fury is a hyped up bomb.
I honestly think it's his size that's getting him past a lot of these dudes, man. That's what I think it is. If Fury
He
was,
leans on them. He leans on them. He plays. He's grimy. He's a dirty fucking fighter. Yeah, of course.
Hey, well, guys,
hate the
these
player, hate
giants
the game,
always are
bruh.
dirty. I mean, Klitschko used to clinch a lot.
Yeah,
Even Lennox Lewis, he used to like pull his
Dude,
opponent's
Julio
head
Cesar
down
Chavez was the biggest cheat
and
with
then
those
hit
elbows,
them with
bro.
an
What you talking
uppercut,
about?
man. They're all dirty. These guys are all like when they're that big. I don't know. There's just something that makes them look like. But like, okay. So Fury's dirty, but is that the reason why he's been winning these fights? Because he's dirty. You know what I mean?
Well, his skill set isn't that great, Pucho. But like, I don't know. You guys can lean in on that one. Huh?
He didn't really have to fight dirty against Vlad, if you guys remember that boring ass fight.
That was a
wasn't dirty,
garbage
though.
fight too. But that was a garbage
It was.
fight.
But you got to remember, Vlad was initiating. He initiated the dirty fighting, if you remember correctly.
Yo, we can barely hear you, Amak.
Oh shit! Well, Vlad was or Klitschko was initiating the dirty tactics, if you guys remember correctly.
I don't remember.
I don't even want to remember that fight. That fight is just.
I saw it once, and that's it.
Exactly. I remember watching it live, and I was just like, you know what? Fuck this. Like, I'm never. I basically was on my phone, just kind of.
I remember I won some money. I bet on Fury to win, and I was surprised he got the decision. To be honest, but no, that was a boring ass fight. And by the way, that was a Klitschko of always, hesitant and especially old, right? But yeah, that was it, man. He was just scared to. And even Fury, let's be honest, he could have done much more. And even he fought in a very, cautious fashion. So let's not give him all this credit. Like, oh my God, what a performance! Like that guy also.
I give Joshua more credit because Klitschko was actually fucking trying to win that fight. And I don't want to hear people who say, like, people try and overcomplicate boxing. They say, oh, but it was Fury who was making him not do this with the feints and all that.
Yeah,
Dude,
he was though.
Go look at the Klitschko fight against AJ. Go look at the Klitschko fight against Fury. The Klitschko who fought AJ was better. That's just what I'm saying.
You give Joshua more credit, bro. A dude that lost against Usyk twice and a fat Mexican. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
He lost to Usyk twice. Big deal.
Dude, Fury is a fat drug addict that doesn't take the sport serious.
No, but you know what? Like, I'll give AJ more credit.
Being an all-time great, bro.
But here's the thing, though. At the end of the day, AJ managed to stop Klitschko. It doesn't matter how he did it. He did it. He managed to stop him. Fury didn't.
Well,
yeah, but put it this way: Fury is a fat, out of shape coke addict that doesn't take the sport serious. He's undefeated and one fight short of being an all-time great. There you go.
But the thing is, AJ did it in a more entertaining fashion. Fury just did it first. He beat him first.
It also matters about how your opponent performs, though. This is what I've always said. Like, I think when we rate wins, we tend to rate the wrong wins. Like, people say that Floyd's greatest performance was, like the Gaddy fight or something, and I'm thinking, man, what the fuck did Gaddy do? He just got his ass whooped. To me, a much more impressive performance was against Miguel Cotto because Miguel Cotto was coming to win. Like, it depends on what your opponent does as well. You have to judge. Is the guy on his game that night? To me, when I look at Klitschko against AJ, Klitschko was on his game that night, man. He knew that was his last chance. He was like, fuck it. I didn't let my hands go against Fury. I lost that fight. To be honest, I kind of embarrassed myself. This is do or die. And I could really see that.
L-Dog, let me ask you then. So how do you rate Crawford's win over Spence?
You know what? That's interesting. I'll say this. To me, Spence has always been someone who just tries to use his size, stamina, and low blows to basically wear someone down and beat them up. So I'm not surprised that Crawford actually beat him like that. Well, I am actually surprised he did it in that fashion. But I still think Spence came in 100%. I mean, he didn't look that different to me. He tried to do the same thing, get on the inside, grind you down. It's just it didn't work against a stronger guy.
Yeah, that's true. And in the chat, we have FUTV saying Fury isn't an all-time great. I mean, is he going into the Hall of Fame? What
I
do you guys
think so. Off of fame, yeah, I think so. He has had like a big impact on boxing. We can't deny that. Like he has made a lot of noise, and that does kind of influence the ballot.
Yeah, now if he beats Usyk, it's a different. I mean, definitely he's gonna be going into the Hall of Fame. He's gonna be undisputed heavyweight champion.
The first in the four-bout era, and the first undisputed since Lennox Lewis. I mean, it's basically a surefire ticket to the Hall of Fame.
And I don't know if you guys have been following what's been going on. Him kicking that kid out of his avatar or whatever, kicking him out of his camp. He was sparring. The kid could get any, and I think he ratted on Fury. It was his way of doing it. I don't know if you heard about the kid he kicked out. He said, "I wasn't going to stay there because I wasn't getting any orthodox." Keyword. I wasn't getting any orthodox sparring. What does that tell you? Fury's an orthodox, but he can fight southpaw. Not as well, personally, I don't believe, but he can do it. So he's telling you without ratting on because you signed non-disclosures, but you can say certain things like I wasn't getting this. He wasn't saying what Fury was doing, but he was by basically what he said. So what does that tell you? Fury plans on fighting Usyk southpaw and boxing him, which
That's
is
ridiculous, man.
stupid. Yep. But that's obviously what he's doing. If he's in there and he's sparring people southpaw, trying to get people to move slightly like Usyk, and he's doing all the sparring according to this guy as a southpaw. I mean, he's kind of blown up what his plans on. Ideally the best thing he needed to use was use his size. Crowd him, lay on him, fight him dirty. If he goes in there and thinks he's going to outbox Usyk, he's in for a world of shit. Usyk is going to fucking
cheat.
Yeah, well, he could just play dirty elbows, fucking rough him up. Be rough in there, and let his hands go. But he's going to be two things going to happen. First off, he's going to be shocked, very surprised how hard Usyk hits, because he's going to think he doesn't hit as hard as he does, and when he does get hit by him, you watch. Put it this way: after the first hook or shot that Usyk hits him with, the next round or later on in that round, if he stays on his bike, snapping his jab, trying to stay at distance, that tells you he got hurt.
Well, he might do that from the beginning, no? He might start doing that from the get-go, no? Fury just using his reach and trying to box southpaw, I guess, and just try to go 12 rounds. That be the plan?
It's a hard thing. It's a hard thing to do when you're that size, to keep doing over 12 rounds. Although people who have seen him recently on Instagram or whatever say he does look like he's in shape, and he's got to look tremendous compared to what he looked like against Ngannou, because I personally don't think he took that fight serious at all, and to his own detriment. But I believe he's going to try to outbox Usyk. He's not going to try to use his size in that way as like bigger. I think he's going to be all about boxing. What's that? Let's hear from who?
No, that's a great point. I mean, this is very interesting, Jimmy, what you're saying. I mean, this is great. Now, we have Olaf, who's been saying from the get-go that Fury is going to win this fight. He's convinced he's going to win. Olaf, give us your thoughts here about, I don't know if you've been hearing what we've been saying. Fury apparently wants to outbox Usyk.
What's up? My thoughts on J.O. Pataya? Apparently
No, Fury.
No. That's you guys want to talk about that shit?
J.O. Pataya was the guy who left his camp. He's the one who left his camp and said, "I wasn't getting any orthodox training." Yes,
yeah. He's the one. Oh, I thought it was some unknown guy or something. Okay, yeah. Then I heard something about that. Yeah. Olaf, give us your thoughts, man.
Well, people were telling me that J.O. Pataya got dropped by the guy Moses Italma, and then Tyson Fury beat him up for 5 rounds, and then that's why he left the camp. That's what people were saying. So he didn't drop him or anything like that.
In the chat, Berlanga saying Fury is done. Sorry, but in the chat, somebody's saying Berlanga. He says Fury is done and Ngannou broke him.
I almost read his name wrong, but someone, when it comes to these sparring stories, I don't put much word into them. I mean, Anthony Joshua, right? 2-time heavyweight champion of the world. What's his sparring record? Like 0-50 with 50 knockout losses? Like Joey DeWeco knocked him out? Like Daniel Dubois knocked him out. You know, it's a bloody miracle that Joshua is even getting in the ring at this point. I mean, he's just been knocked out so many
There's just
times.
a lot of people who look for reasons to hate on Fury, man.
Well, I heard
that's just the problem. Like, you know, I mean, it doesn't matter what happens. They're just always going to look for something negative about him. So they kind of took that and ran with it.
I heard stories about Dylan White beating up on Tyson Fury and sparring, and look what happened in the fight.
Oh, of course. I heard Joshua beat up Tyson Fury in sparring. There was a video. I don't even know if it's real or not. I don't think it is, but this is a video from like 2014, and it was Dylan White knocking out some tall white guy and like chasing a guy around the ring and then knocking him out. And that was supposedly Tyson Fury. I don't know if that was really him or not. I have no idea. But I don't think it was.
They probably invited some poor fucking EuroLeague basketball substitute around to the gym and just beat the shit out of him and filmed it.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason I didn't bring up. I heard the same thing, that he supposedly knocked Fury down. I heard that, but I didn't even bring that up because I don't hold any weight into that. The one that I do hold weight into was they were saying that he couldn't get any orthodox sparring in. So I take that. That's not relevant of who's knocking out who and who's winning the fucking sparring. That's telling me that right now Fury's training mostly southpaw, which is he wants to negate the movement. He wants to negate Usyk's left southpaw advantage by being southpaw himself. Here's the difference, though. Usyk is used to fighting southpaws a lot more as a southpaw than Fury is. Fury hasn't fought as many southpaws, never mind as a southpaw, which can be tricky. So
is it a bad sign that Fury looks like he's drastically trying to change his style just for this fight?
It's like it's almost like he's conceded, right? Like he's lacking that confidence. But I'll say this: didn't Fury fight Wallen southpaw, then get his face busted open and switch?
Fury stopped Derek Chisora southpaw. He fought southpaw all 10 rounds. He stopped him in the 10th round as a southpaw. Yeah.
I didn't watch that fight.
I think he was switching.
He didn't fight orthodox for 1 second of that whole fight. Watch that fight. He literally fought southpaw that entire fight, and he's done that in several fights too.
Oh yeah, but then again, Chisora is one thing, right?
What's that?
Chisora is one thing, then Usyk is another one. I mean,
right, but you understand too. I mean, if you want to talk about, I mean, I don't know what that means for Usyk, like for this fight with Usyk coming up, but you got to understand, Bucho. I mean. What's his face? Usyk really did struggle against Derek Chisora. Like, I mean, you could really say that Tyson Fury's fought 12, 30, 32, 42 rounds against Derek Chisora in his career. And, Chisora won more rounds in 12 rounds against Usyk than he did in 42 rounds against Fury, man. I mean, that's just a fact.
Usyk didn't look comfortable, I'll tell you that, in that Chisora
fight. That is true. That is true. He did struggle against Chisora. We can't deny that. Like Chisora.
How many rounds did he lose? How many rounds did he lose?
To me, I thought he lost. I thought he lost around 4.
Yeah, I scored at 8 rounds.
That's struggling.
I
would just say
I thought he won. I thought Chisora won 4 out of the first 5 rounds, and then Usyk completely took over. I mean,
I agree.
I mean, Chisora was charging in.
I personally wouldn't count that struggling. Personally, I wouldn't say losing just 4 rounds is a struggle. I understand it's just a descriptor.
But Jimmy,
how many rounds did Fury do against
Fury fought for 42 rounds and didn't even lose 4 rounds in 42 rounds? I mean, doesn't that say something?
But how many rounds has he lost against Joshua?
Well, I mean, I thought he lost 7 rounds in 24 out of 24 altogether.
I had both fights 9-3, to be honest. I think I had both. I mean, this is the thing though, is the whole triangle theories. They don't really work. I will say this though, I thought Usyk struggled against Chisora just because Chisora made those first 6 rounds. Usyk looked very uncomfortable in those first 6 rounds.
He really did.
Was that his first or second? Was that his first or second fight at heavyweight?
That was his second fight at heavyweight.
But again, this is the thing. He's probably learned from it, right?
He's also grown into the weight. Remember, you're gonna fight tentatively. When you come up and you change weight, and you're fighting you're adding 20 pounds to your body mass when you're fighting. You don't want your legs to give away in the middle of the fight. You got to get used. You got to get your second wind, and once you get acclimated to the weight. See, they fucked up. Anybody who waited to fight Usyk, he was the best time to get him is when you first come up into a weight division. That's would have been Spence's best time to get Crawford when he first entered 147. He let Crawford get acclimated to welterweight the same way Usyk now is acclimated to fucking heavyweight.
Well, Jimmy, like I was saying the other day in the server, man, like the thing with the Usyk fans, their whole argument is basically Usyk has mo speed, mo athleticism. And Fury's not going to be able to deal with it.
Don't forget that. He got the footwork.
Yeah, the mo speed, mo athleticism, mo footwork. That's pretty much what that comes down to. And I can almost guarantee right now that's simply not going to be box.
Fury's a fat
because
boy, get
and he also and I mean, you got to look at this. Dude, go look at this right now. According to CompuBox, he gets hit a lot more than Tyson Fury does at heavyweight. So this whole thing about his fucking defense is just bullshit. Look at how much he got hit by Joshua in that second fight. Whoa. He got hit a lot in the first fight.
You're leaving something out here. Fury stat pads, though. Look at who he fights. And also, if we want to talk about getting hit, that's one thing. What about knockdowns? How many times has Fury been knocked down?
Well, you know what? That's the thing. There's actually a really great article, L-Dog. There was a great article that came out today. They interviewed Tony Bellew, and they asked him, they said, why has Tyson Fury been dropped 7 times? And Tony Bellew basically said the reason why is because he's just on cruise control in a fight, that he's so comfortable in a fight, he's not really being challenged in a lot of these fights, and he's getting knocked down in. And you can look it up right now.
I agree. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, Bucho.
No, that's 100% right. I always said if you look at Fury's knockdowns against Wilder, he's like, you can tell this guy's in cruise control. He's not even paying attention. I know it's not an excuse. I mean, you have to be always protecting yourself at all time and being aware of. But that Fury does that, man. Even in the last time when he got knocked down by Wilder, just look at the knockdown. This guy's walking forward with his hands stretched out, his arms stretched out. Like, what the fuck is that rookie move? Yeah, that's why he got dropped.
That was a big fight, too. Like, what's to say he doesn't do it in this fight? I mean, because here's the thing. Say what you want to say about Wilder. We know he's a piece of shit. We know he sucks now, right? And we also know he likes his brother's wife or whatever, but that's another story. I don't know if you guys heard about that. But basically, if you were fighting Wilder when he was undefeated, right, and even though you could tell that he's technically flawed massively, you would still be very nervous about that power, wouldn't you? You would still, because he's undefeated, he's got a bunch of knockouts, you've seen the highlight reels, you'd still be like, okay, well, I should at least be cautious because this dude can't punch. And Fury just wasn't.
Well, because Fury knows boxing. Fury's an excellent boxer, especially for a guy who's 6'9", and Sugar Hill's an excellent trainer. And he knew by looking at Wilder, it's clear what's going on. If you get inside his power band, he's useless. That's what Parker knew too. You just get inside his power band. He has to punch you out at the end of his punches. If he connects with them close, it's you. So you just crowd him. You get in under his power band, and you'll have your way with him. The problem is, you got to look at the highest ranked opponent Wilder ever fought before becoming champion. Do you know what it is, Effie? L-Dog?
Was it Duopo?
Nope.
No,
the highest. Well, the highest. Yeah, the highest.
Ortiz, right?
No, resume going in before he became champion.
Before champion. It was Audley Harrison. It wasn't Audley Harrison, right?
It was a Polish kid.
Yeah,
Polish kid.
No, Stavern was a top 5.
Yeah. Well, he fought him for the title, so that counts as a title fight. I'm talking about the highest non-title fight opponent he fought before the title was a 43rd ranked guy. Out of the 30 fights he had before becoming champion, 29 fights. Out of the fucking 32. 21 of them were unranked, meaning they weren't even in the top 500 in the world. Not even stop and let that sink in. Not even in the top 500 ranked guys. Majority of them were unranked, complete ham and egg, no hopers. He was hit, and every one of them were punches. So not only weren't they ranked, they all had like 50% KO ratio. So they matched them against soft punching, fucking flat-footed, no hopers. And then the minute he got in there against people with even a modicum of talent, he gets exposed. And he almost got exposed by a guy who's probably 2 years away from collecting Social Security in Ortiz. Got to take heart medicine.
Some of those fights are fake also, Jimmy. Let's keep it real. The Malik Scott fight, to me, is obviously a fake. I mean, come on. I mean...
That was no question asked. It hit him off the gloves.
Now what I'm wondering is how many other fights were also like somewhat like that, probably a couple.
Well, I think Hellenius, he had 5, he came in off the couch, 7 days off the couch. I don't think he was paid to throw the fight. I think he said, hey, listen, I think somebody whispered in his corner, in his ear, hey, the check cleared. Okay. He didn't have to I believe he parked by the hour, and he just went out there. The first shot that he thought he could get away with going down. But everything about that knockdown, when you're out cold, with your eyes are wide open, you breathe funny. You don't breathe normal. And you make a very, actually, it's almost the same sound people make when they get shot in the head. It's a very distinct, gross, gurgling.
Like a pig noise.
Oh, it's disgusting. Yeah, when people are knocked out cold,
it's like the
sound they make when they're shot in the head. Exactly.
Hey, Olaf, why do you think there's so much hate for Tyson Fury?
Several reasons, man. I think a lot of it comes from people who are actually Joshua fans. Like, I don't have a Twitter account, right? But I do look through Twitter. Like, I'll Google like Tyson Fury or something on Google, and it'll take me to Twitter, and I'll go through all the stories that are written about him and the tweets on Twitter. And it's overwhelmingly 9 out of 10 tweets are negative, and it's mostly from Joshua fans. So I think that's mostly what it is. I think it's mainly from Joshua fans.
L-Dog is a big Joshua fan, that's why.
I mean, look, I do like Joshua. Joshua, but to me, I'm a Hergovich fan first and foremost.
Period.
Oh wow.
Point two.
Oh, what?
And the whole thing about Tyson Fury,
don't even got to fight. Hergovich isn't going to beat anybody, dude.
That's bullshit.
Fight enough.
You know what? I'm gonna ask.
Why do you say shit?
Yo, I want to ask the entire panel. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Let's say Usyk squeezes out the win, right? I don't think Tyson Fury is really going to go anywhere. I think they will make the fight with AJ and Fury then, and it's a moneymaker. It's still a moneymaker.
Well, Rick, he already said that he's not fighting AJ. He said that fight's not happening.
No, but money talks, bullshit walks, right? After he fucking on the basis that he loses to Usyk, right? I'm saying his biggest motivator is money. There's no other ifs, ands, or buts about Tyson Fury. His primary motivation is money, and I don't disagree with that. If that's your thing, make as much as you can because you're a professional athlete. You have a finite duration in the sport, right? You can't do it for another fucking 5 years. There's no way. So in the next 2-3 years, he's gonna have to make as much bank as he's made a lot of money as it is to boot. Period. Like he could retire, fine. Like fuck off and leave the world. But his thing is he's obsessed with notoriety as well. He likes his kind of fanboys and shit too. So
I haven't seen any Tyson Fury fanboys, man. I don't know if they're on Twitter or not. 'Cause like I said a few moments ago, I don't have a Twitter. So if they're on Twitter, then maybe that's it. But
what I'm saying is he's
on YouTube and on Discord. I'm in a few boxing Discord servers. I've never met a Tyson Fury fanboy on YouTube or in Discord boxing server.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is he's not going to fuck off. Like he's going to try to squeeze some more money out of the masses. That's for a fact. And,
well, his thing was like, look, man, I've already made enough money. I've offered that fight to Joshua 4 times. Joshua needs Fury at this point. Fury doesn't need Joshua, and we already saw what happened with the Usyk thing, right? This Usyk fight got made in a timely fashion. And what happened? Tyson Fury got no credit from the boxing world for making that fight happen. Like I said in the Discord server, man, with these Afro-Anglos, it takes 5 to 7 years to make a fight. Tyson Fury had made the fight with Usyk in a year. Okay, it was in a year that fight was made. So it happened in a timely manner, and he still gets shit on by the boxing public, man. Mainly these gay J Twitter trolls. So he's just like, I don't have anything to prove about fighting Joshua. Joshua needs me. I don't need Joshua. I've made enough money. And his thing is just like, you know what? I don't respect him, and I'm never going to give him that fight. I'm going to starve him out. I'm going to starve out these fans who have disrespected me. And that's it. He said Usyk already beat him twice. And he said this in the face-to-face. Said Usyk beat that guy twice. This is the end-all, be-all kind of fight. I beat him. I don't have anything to prove with Joshua. So that's and you know what? And for a long time, I wanted to see that fight. Now I truly don't want to see it. I actually hope Tyson Fury, because I know, and if you want to call him a duck or whatever, that's fine. Because if Tyson Fury does fight him, he won't get any credit for it anyway. If Tyson Fury beats Usyk, he's not going to get credit for that. So no, man, fuck these people. Fuck these people. Don't give them that Joshua fight and starve them out.
He's just like too long. Yeah.
I'm not a Joshua fan, but hasn't he made more money than Fury? I know he's been on the
he
list.
I mean, so what? Who cares if he's made Tyson Fury's completely content with
because you know somebody said that Joshua needs him for the money.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
Because somebody say that.
Because Joshua wants to keep fighting. Joshua wants to keep fighting. He wants to keep getting big paydays and shit like that. Now he's talking about
9 out of 10 Fury fans, we got penis envy.
Hey, who was the one? Salute everybody. Sorry, I just got a question. Who was the one saying that Fury would not get credit for fighting Usyk? What makes you think?
There was a lot of people. There's a lot of people. There's people in BDA's Discord server right now who are already saying if Tyson Fury wins, one of 3 things happened. Either he cheated, either Usyk's too old, or who cares? He's a cruiserweight and Fury's going to be 40 pounds heavier. There's people who are Usyk fans who are already saying that in his Discord server right now.
I gotta say this. I do believe that the mainstream narrative in America, because we know boxing is Afrocentric, they're gonna say that basically Fury exposed the fact that Usyk fights like an amateur, and he never made a good pro. Basically, that he fights like an amateur, and Fury exposed that. That's what they'll say, and they'll diminish the win.
Yeah, I agree. I don't expect because I do fully expect Fury this to be a really lopsided fight. Fury is going to stop him. It might happen between rounds like 5 and 8. Well, how I see it happening, honestly, how I can see this happening is basically Usyk quitting. Because Usyk does have quit in him. He clearly has quit in him. He quit against Daniel Dubois. He just did. That's just a fact. He quit against Daniel Dubois. He quit against. He quit against Archer Beterbiev, the amateurs. I mean, Archer Beterbiev didn't touch him.
That was a low.
Yeah, but I mean, not for nothing though. Didn't well, I don't know. Maybe I saw the wrong fight, but wasn't it Dubois who just took a knee from a jab? Wasn't he the one who quit?
They're both quitters.
No, but what Usyk did when the referee called it a low blow, you have up to 5 minutes. And if you remember, within a minute, Usyk was saying, "Okay, let's go," and he was like, "No, which was strange as fucking hell."
Watch that. He wasn't.
I watched the fight, bro. Within a minute. Within 50 seconds, he said, "I'm ready."
Oh my God, that guy was on the floor.
Dude, there's a whole article written about it, dude. It was the 57th or the 55th.
They did not restart that fight in a minute. That is bullshit.
Within the first minute is when he said it was within the first minute. My God, you can let me finish my fucking sentence, dude?
Hold on,
just let me finish my sentence, and you can say what you want. I'm saying.
By the rules of boxing, what's a low blow? Do you know what it is? What's a low blow? By the rules of boxing, what is a low blow?
Who are you asking, me or him?
Yeah, no, I'm asking you. What is a low blow? What is a low blow?
I don't know, but that shit didn't land in the balls, bro. That shit landed in
So that's not what a low blow is. So you don't know shit. What's a low blow, Olaf?
If,
I didn't say that shit was a. I didn't say
hold on, wait.
that was the definition of a low blow. I never said that shit, bro.
Punch below the navel is a low
Freakson
blow.
of whatever your fucking
That shit didn't land in the fucking balls, bro. That didn't land in the balls, and I already cooked your bitch ass on the fucking
got up and
bitch
knocked that
ass.
bomb out and made him quit. That's a fact. He low blowing all night and he quit. He looked for a way out.
He stayed on the ground for like a fucking minute, bro. So there's no secret that fucking that Usyk is weak to the body, bro. Usyk is weak to the body, bro.
Guys, one at a time. One at a time, guys.
Guys. This is crazy. All right. Let.
It won't be a competitive.
Hey, look, I'm not here to dress down Usyk, bro. I'm not going to dress him down. I think when he gets dominated by Fury, and that's inevitable, that will happen. Fury should get the credit he deserves, man. 100%. This is the second best heavyweight of his generation.
I agree.
He beat Joshua twice, so he should get all the credit he deserves. I'm not here to diminish Usyk at all.
Look, I'm just saying this because I heard people, Fury gets knocked down in his fights, blah, blah, blah. Well, Usyk fucking gets knocked down to the fucking body, too. They're both fucking vulnerable, if you ask me.
Well, hold on a second. We gotta, just because you're a quitter doesn't mean you're a bad fighter, right? I mean, didn't Roberto Duran quit?
I'm just saying, bro, none of these motherfuckers are invincible, bro. None of these motherfuckers
exactly. I'll say this. None of them are invincible. The punch to me against Dubois was low. I will say, when it comes to the Beterbiev fight, a lot of people misunderstand how the amateurs were scored then. Basically, it was scored on the point system, where a clean jab to the face was 1 point, and a knockdown to the head, to the body, wherever, was also 1 point. So if you got hurt to the body...
Still that way. It's still that way in the images.
They have a lot of... Some places do 10-point mark systems now.
It's the white part of the glove. If the white part of the glove makes contact with any part of the body, it's considered a landing blow. But my point is this: when it comes to Usyk, and when he looked at the ref, right, and the ref waved it like low blow, he can stay down as long as he wants. Who's to say is if the guy said, okay, it's a knockdown. Say if the referee would have ruled it a knockdown, how does anybody know that Usyk wouldn't have got up before the 10 count?
I can answer that for you.
I have a feeling that if Usyk's name was Trayvon Williams or something, they would have said that he was using veteran tactics.
Yeah, can I just answer that for a second, man? If you see how quickly the referee made that decision, wow, Usyk is extremely fortunate. Because if he would have called that a knockdown, then the fight would have been over, right?
I mean, it wasn't Poland.
He's lucky. He is lucky.
The refs.
That decision has to be made. But referees, you don't have time to think. You can't go, okay, hold on, guys, let me think about it. You have to make that decision split second. It has to be a split second decision.
Bro,
it's either a knockdown or it isn't.
Before I got interrupted by fucking Dora, it was a low blow, but the shot didn't land in the boss for him to stay on the ground all fucking day. That's my opinion on that. On what happened.
Of course not. I totally agree. And my biggest complaint about that was the ref interjecting his feelings into it. A ref should never tell a fighter, if a fighter's saying, I'm ready, and for the ref to say, no, take the time. That was so bizarre for him to keep telling the fighter who's saying, okay, I'm ready to go. No, take the 5 minutes. Like, what are you getting paid by the fucking minute, dude? Shut the fuck up. That was extremely odd.
And look, bro, Dubois got to rest on that fucking minute, too. Dubois got to rest.
Exactly.
Dubois was the one that was fucking tiring out. So it's the same shit to me, bro. Dubois is a fucking quitter. Yeah, right. Good point. But Usyk is vulnerable to the fucking body. Whether people would want to admit it or not, at least that's my opinion.
AJ was going to the body in that second. AJ, look at AJ. He was doing some good work on the body. I think they knew. I mean, I think AJ should have stayed with Robert Garcia. By the way, sorry. Super chat. Earl Stevens, thank you for your super chat. He says Duran quit because Leonard didn't want to fight. People tried to lump in the same as fighters quitting because they're hurt or scared. Not the same. Duran quit because Leonard didn't want to fight.
Yeah. Plus, he had a lot of personal shit going on in that camp. my thing with Duran is he came back and he made good on that. Like, you can't discount what he did after that. You know what I mean? I would never discredit. Even back then when everybody was, oh, he's a quitter. I'm like, dude, how can you look at this dude, what he has done in the sport, and fucking put it all down into that one moment? How do you discount everything this guy did before that? It's just people, like, some people hate certain people and they want to label it a certain way. Yes, he bailed on that fight and he paid for it, but
people forget
he didn't come back.
People forget that Leonard did exactly what Wilder did. He fought him at the right moment.
Oh man.
Yeah, Duran was unbelievable. But
what I'm getting is that he was doing fat camp on top of that. If you remember that.
Yeah, he was going. I think if I remember correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he was going problems with his wife at the time. And Duran was a partier. You know what I mean? All those guys. There was guys back then who literally never quit smoking. Like Marvin Hagler still smoked cigarettes halfway through his career. He didn't stop smoking until he was 25-0. He would smoke cigarettes between rounds.
Yeah, some fighters did smoke back then, man.
Yep.
You guys making excuses for Duran?
No, Roberto Duran, dude, was fucking unbelievable, man. Little Hands of Stone. That dude did some fucking crazy fights.
Hey, Bucho, I just want to say, this guy on the panel right here with the V profile picture, he's the one who, he's a part of, like, Ring IQ's crew who push a lot of, like, anti-white Tyson Fury narratives. They're all Joshua fanboys.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
I'm
right
barely
there.
even here, man.
I tried to debate Ring IQ one time, and then he told Ring IQ not to let me on his panel because I'll get him banned.
Hey, one thing I've noticed about
I never said that, you fucking When the fuck did I ever say that?
Hold on. One thing I've noticed.
Hold on. Look, there was an accusation made. I think that Virtuoso has the right to
Yeah, let him respond.
Dog, you don't even fucking know me.
You know what?
I'm barely even fucking here. I don't even fucking know you.
Straight up, I feel sorry for your daughter because
I know you, bro.
You told Ring IQ not to let me on the panel,
and I bet you ain't.
I talked to Ring IQ. Got nothing to do with me pushing anti-white bullshit. You're in your fucking feelings, bro.
No. You told Ring IQ.
Feelings.
Ring IQ was saying that Tyson Fury.
I never told him shit.
Hey, man, can I respond?
I never told him shit, dog. Don't excuse me of shit.
That was you. I remember, bro. I remember everything.
Don't accuse me of shit, bro. You don't fucking know me.
I've seen you on that panel.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't know who you're getting hyped with, bro. You're not going to scare me.
What's going on here, bro? You guys asked a question earlier. Why do people hate Fury, bro? And the reason they fucking hate Fury, bro, is because he's bipolar, bro. One minute he's like, I'll fight this motherfucker for free. The other minute he's like, he wants 100 million. That's the reason people don't like Fury, if you ask me, bro.
Hey, one thing I've noticed
bipolar shit, you know?
You bring an interesting point, because one thing I've noticed about that certain clique of Anthony Joshua fans you just mentioned, they love all the black dudes except for the ones from America, and it's real weird. Like, I don't know.
And can I just say something, real quick about Ring IQ? I have to defend him on this. I have seen this kid, and he is Dominican, and I've seen him defend white fighters and actually push it back, especially recently over the last few months, real hard against the anti-white bullshit, like about the LDBC and that whole fucking toxic tribalistic Twitter fucking shit.
Man,
He's been really pushing back against that.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what he said, except for Stevenson being a good boy. I don't fucking agree to that. His track history doesn't lie.
He likes all of those guys who just aren't PBC. Like, I don't know. It's weird.
Wilder, it's like, but Wilder's a fucking twerkinator, man. Like, to me, he doesn't represent American boxing to the best. All right, he's been in this.
I agree to that.
I just wanted to ask the guy to explain why he was saying Tyson Fury was ducking Dillian White. You know, Ring IQ was talking about that from like January 2022 until the fight was.
I mean, they fought already, so it's like,
because just a bunch of bitch ass anti-whites over there, man. That's what it is. I mean, they were really running with this narrative that Tyson Fury was ducking Dillian White, and they act like people forgot that. So
yeah, but bro, don't put
I mean, you can.
Don't put Bray on that.
I don't know about all that shit, bro. That's why you should just stick to listening to BDA, bro. Listen to BDA. I don't know about the other fucking channels.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't listen to any other channels anymore. I listen to BDA, and that's about it.
Yeah, but there's a lot of fucking there's a lot of racists on that BDA panel, especially that Guinea, that Italian kid, fucking douchebag.
Jimmy
White. I mean, I don't know if people who are anti-Fury are
Jimmy Conway? Jimmy Conway from Goodfellas?
From Philly, yeah.
Good old Jimmy Conway, huh?
What was the name of his lounge? What was Jimmy's lounge name? I forget. It was right near the airport there. What was it called? They couldn't make him because his mother was his father was Irish.
Billy Bats was in there. Billy Bats was in there with Jimmy.
Yeah, Billy Bats. We got a real fucking problem. They sold that land.
Hey, Fury loses. If Fury loses, is it over for Tyson Fury or what? Because I mean, that Ngannou fight, he didn't look great in that, exhibition fight. Whatever it was.
I thought he lost that.
I would say no, Bucho, because regardless if Fury wins or loses, that Joshua fight in London at the O2 would do big numbers.
And there's a rematch clause on this fight. It's not just one fight. Fury versus Usyk. It's gonna be two fights.
Honestly, I would rather smash Usyk in 5 and 7 rounds, and then also give him a rematch than fight Joshua. Even if that fight's completely pointless, like the first fight is so definitive that there's no reason to see a rematch. I would still rather give Usyk the rematch and ever fight Joshua.
You guys are getting ahead of yourselves, man. What's the strictest sanctioning body when it comes to mandatories?
No one.
IBF.
IBF.
No.
IBF.
Okay. How many years did they let? No, hold on. How many years did they let?
Let me get to my point, bro.
No, you've been talking all fucking stream, dude. Shut the fuck
up. Let Tell Dog finish his point. He was gonna say something. Go ahead.
They gotta fight Philip Hergovich, bro. Otherwise, they're ducking.
That guy's fucking bum, dude.
Hergovich will become the champ. Trust me.
His best win is a robbery win.
His best
win is a gifted decision, dude.
He beat Zang clearly, bro. Don't believe the CCP lies, bro. The CCP funded a bunch of lies.
When he was a teenager, man, he was involved in like war crimes during that fucking Serbian battles and shit. So I don't know about him.
I'm telling you, bro. I know that the CCP they personally funded a lot of lies and narratives about that fight because it embarrassed them.
The thing about Beterbiev is he beats the Chinese monster.
Having a skit attack, dude.
Beterbiev beats the Chinese monster, and then he goes to fighting on prelims against fucking unranked fucking opponents. What's that shit all about, bro? You're supposed to move up, you know?
His best win is a good decision.
Hey,
all I know about people.
Yeah, go ahead.
All I know about people from that area of the world, like when you read their last names, Hergovich and shit, just the spelling. I mean, it's like fucking. They need to buy a vowel. Like, how the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, they have too many, consonants without a vowel. Blows my mind. But I just think, honestly, Hergovich, he's just too lumbering. He's just too lumbering for like. I think Fury and Usyk would tune him up because of his.
I think Hergovich would beat Fury. I don't think he beats Usyk.
He hasn't even done anything after his gift decision, dude. Like,
are we really talking about Hergovich?
That's my point.
Guys,
that's my point, bro. He hasn't done anything.
Who gives a shit? I'm sorry,
matchmaking got worse, bro.
That is true. His career is being mismanaged, but a lot of dudes have ducked him. Even Zhang ducked the rematch. Hergovich said he'll go to China and knock him out in front of 1 billion Chinese people, and guess what? They ducked him. He called you out in front of your people, bro. In front of your people. Said that he'll go there and knock you out in front of everyone.
Well, he has terrible management. I don't know what he's doing. Who's managing this guy?
His resume looks better.
Hey, if you remove Usyk and Fury and Joshua from the heavyweight division, what do you get? Like, what do you have left?
Nothing. You got Zhang.
Hergovich, bro. You got Hergovich.
You got Joseph Parker.
The Chinese monster.
You got Big
and Andy Ruiz.
40-year-old Chinese guy, and what else?
Zang lost, bro. Bro, I do not understand people who say that Zang won that fight. That is crazy.
Bro, Achilles, you got like the super mic or something? Why's your mic so low?
Hey, bro, the CCP they can't shut me down.
There's Jared Anderson.
He has the fucking New Zealand has a great fuck. He's up on top of a mountain in New Zealand where they filmed fucking Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
what about that guy with the slanted eyebrows at the heavyweight division? What's his name again?
Arslan Beck. He just got knocked out.
He just get knocked the fuck out.
But he got knocked out.
Oh, that's body shots.
Yeah, by I think a random French, Middle East, French, like
a German dude. A German dude.
His name was
German.
Yeah,
Turkish German.
Yeah,
the dude just got that weird twitch with his neck.
Yeah, that
He's not a good boxer, bro. He's not a good boxer. I don't like how he fights, bro.
What's up, my brother?
He got weird twitches his neck, no, like he's got a problem, no.
That guy's a bum. He's another one that people were saying would beat Fury, the Russian guy.
So Olaf, you got Fury stopping Usyk, and what did you say, 6 or 8 rounds? Is that what you said?
Yeah, between
6 and 8
rounds stoppage. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Olaf, if Fury beats Usyk, what do you want Fury to do next? Would you be happy if he retires? Satisfied?
I always wanted him to. The only other guy from his generation that's still around who he hasn't fought is Andy Ruiz. I like him to fight. I mean, they were trying to make that fight last year. I like him to fight him, but the Joshua fight, no, I don't. I hope he never takes that fight. I know that's still out there. Like Joshua. Yeah, I would just fight Andy Ruiz. That's really the only guy left to fight.
Can I tell you something I heard about Andy Ruiz, guys? I heard that he wants to go public about how he's being treated by Al Haymon. He feels Al Haymon has froze him out. He hasn't tried to make any fights for him, and he doesn't like the way he gets treated. And if Al Haymon wouldn't sue the fucking balls off him, he would come out and say he treats Mexicans like second-class citizens on the Mexicans he represents.
Wow, no way, man. No. Hey, Jimmy, what do you think?
Bro, that's a big discovery, bro.
But no, I'm just saying. I'm hearing that fucking that came from that camp, like from people who know Ruiz, and because they were saying, how did you? Because Ruiz is saying that he never said he wouldn't fight for this money. Because the thing going around with Ruiz, everybody's saying he priced himself out. He's got to fucking learn. Ruiz said it was open ended. I want to make this, but I want to make money. You know what I mean? He's smart enough to know. 10 million is. Even 2 million. A lot better than no money, and that he feels that he's not getting. He felt because Wilder was Heyman's guy, that he was always treated like the fucking redhead stepchild in any negotiations, which isn't surprising. We've all been saying right along that we see the way Al Haymon treats the Mexican fighters. He doesn't treat them with the same. At all. I personally think, but
I believe Andy Ruiz is partly responsible. He kind of did it to himself. When he tried to get his shit together, it was a little too late.
Yeah,
it was a little too late. 100%. Yeah.
All he's doing right now is playing around on Instagram, bro. He's got this new girlfriend, and that's all he cares about. That's what it looks like to me.
I think Andy Ruiz lacks discipline.
Of
course. Well, he'd be the first to tell you that. He'd be the first to tell you that.
Andy Ruiz is going to be relegated to be the Mexican American Buster Douglas part 2. That's it. That's what he's going to be relegated to.
I'll tell you right now, if Andy Ruiz was disciplined, he'd probably be the best heavyweight because his hand speed. And his boxing knowledge, his IQ is very high.
I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that.
Jimmy, come on. No.
If he could lean out, dude, all his deficiencies come from his weight.
No, Jimmy, is great. Jimmy, it seems to me that he looked worse after he lost the weight.
Yeah.
Because he took off too much fucking weight at one time. Ate too much muscle. You got to take it off gradually. You can't eat away that much. I'm just saying, he banged out, he knocked out Joshua, who wasn't, clearly he was out taking Instagram pictures 2 days before the fight. He hadn't his head on straight. But, yeah, put it this way. Who do you see calling out Andy Ruiz? Wilder, nobody. Fury's never called
because
him
there's
out.
no
Nobody
money
wants to fight
attached,
that
Jimmy.
dude.
There's no money attached.
It's irrelevant.
Yeah, not even
Okay, all right. Let me respond to that. Okay, if there's no money in Randy Ruiz, who's there money in then? Who's bigger than Randy Ruiz?
That's the reason now he's high risk, low reward for all these fighters, and he'll probably be a handful still because of his patience to be there and see how the fight's playing out, and he can attack you with the quick combo, and he can knock these dudes out, but he can also be hurt. But yeah, he's high risk, low reward.
And I didn't say he would be an all-time great. I said amongst today's heavyweights, he'd be one of the better ones, if not the best right now. Because I think he's that talented. He's got very good hand speed. He grew up in tough gyms, fucking sparring in TJ. Those are not fucking joke gyms you spar in. Those gyms find you out quick. They eat people there.
What's up, Tijuana?
Yeah.
It's
I said, what's up, boys?
He's a trainer in Tijuana.
What's good, Gypsy?
Yeah, but he went and trained in Mexico as well. For the
Breaking
amateurs.
news: Jimmy says Mexicans eat people.
You
guys are exposed.
But here's the problem right now. Someone like Ruiz, he needs his style, like a lot of fighters. He'd be better the more active he is. You cannot fight once a year, once every 18 weeks, 18 months and be effective. You just can't.
Yeah, but Jimmy, there's no cachet involved in attached to his name. You understand what I'm saying? He's not a money maker.
Is a cachet attached to Zingle, Zay, or whatever the Chinese guy, or Hergovich, or any heavyweight?
Zang has what he has is again his size as a heavyweight. He looks like a fucking heavyweight, and he's fighting. He's fighting like a heavyweight, right? So what I'm saying,
his name isn't bigger than Ruiz. I'd say the same.
Jimmy, I'm not disputing that Andy Ruiz is not a good contender for being in the heavyweight
I didn't say you were.
I'm not disputing.
I didn't say you were.
I'm saying from a money making standpoint, a lot of the promoters and they can't see themselves making the money back. There's no return on investment. You know what I'm saying? They'll put a fight together and be like, who the fuck's going to watch?
Two heavyweights who actually have, like right now, in Fury, it's dependent on his partner, but Joshua is the only heavyweight that guarantees big money. And we've seen that when he fought fucking Takam, or whatever that dude's name is. He had 90,000 people in the seats at O2 Arena. 90,000 people.
I don't understand why you guys shit on Hergovich. I mean, the guy went 12 rounds against Zang.
Yeah, but
Joyce,
Hey, stop saying it like that. You gotta stop saying it. I don't even like the way you're framing that. 12 rounds. No, he beat Zang. He beat him 8-4.
I know.
You got a good decision and hasn't done shit ever since.
I agree, L-Dog. I agree he won, but there's a lot of people over here that don't believe it, so I say he went 12 rounds, so I'm just going to say he went 12 rounds. I agree he won. I think he genuinely won against Zang. But, like, he went 12. Joyce, all hyped up on Joyce. Joyce couldn't even last about 6 rounds against this dude. But apparently, Philip Hergovich ain't shit.
Exactly.
Nobody has said that he ain't shit. Nobody has said he ain't shit.
Oh man, no, bro. I so many people, Bucho over here, said that shit. Philip ain't crap. He's garbage. He's shit. He ain't nobody. He looked awful in that fight against Zang. What the fuck are you guys talking about, man?
I also think that during that time, I don't know if I'm 100% certain, but somebody died. Was it his trainer or his father?
His
dad. His dad, bro. His dad. So that's understandable. Maybe he wasn't like there for that fight as well, but he still won that fucking fight. I don't care.
Exactly, bro. And here's the thing, Gypsy King. I'll tell you, this is why people think that Zang won. Zang would land 2 big punches that would catch the eye, and then Hergovich would outland him like with 20 punches or something.
Like 6-7, bro. Yeah, like 6-7.
Yeah, seriously, Hergovich outlanded him and outworked him. I'm not saying that Hergovich had the more eye-catching shots, but he landed a significant amount of more punches, and when you add it up over on a round-by-round basis, he clearly won. And if we want to talk about the knockdown, it was a behind-the-head shot.
It was a push down. It was a push down as well.
And it's supposed to be clean and effective punches. There's a lot of guys who land more punches that's not always the way to. It's clean, effective punching.
Jimmy,
too,
if that was
you know?
12, if that was 15 rounds, you would have stopped him because in the 12th round,
I didn't see the fight. I don't watch any of those. I just they bore the fuck out of me.
I know, but if you watch it, bro, in the 12th round, he was running. Zang was running away from him.
He was, bro. Hey, at the end of the fight, he literally turned his back and ran.
Exactly.
And collapsed in his corner.
He's too big. He carries a lot of weight.
And here's the thing: if it's so easy, right? If it's so easy, why doesn't he want his get back?
Yeah, exactly, bro. I keep saying the same shit. Even when
Hergovich said he'll go to China. He'll go to China to fight him, and this dude won't do it for the Chinese people.
Well,
if
he's supposedly ducking the rematch, well, what the hell is he doing with his career? Who is he going to fight now?
Well,
He's
no one's
waiting for the champ.
I think that fight was supposed to happen with him and Parker.
What's his rating?
So he's waiting. He's waiting for a Willy Wonka ticket. Is that what
He's the IBF mandatory, bro. He's got his ticket.
Right, so that's what I'm asking. So he's IB. Who holds the IBF belt? Is that Usyk?
Usyk,
okay,
yeah.
so if he's number 1 ranked, you said, right? So that would be
He's the
Usyk's
mandatory.
So that would be So he'd be, if that would be the next guy mandated. So he would get the mandated fight against Usyk if Usyk was to be Fury.
Well, Fury already said he's going to vacate all the belts besides the WBC in the ring after the Usyk fight. So I don't know because he's not fighting Joshua next. So
Can I tell you another rumor?
Hergovich.
Want to hear another rumor I heard?
What's that?
I heard that the Arabs wanted to buy Ring Magazine belts. Wanted to buy Ring Magazine and own that belt.
They got so much money.
Yeah,
they can do it.
They're obsessed with that belt because remember in Rocky, what belt he held up? It was the Ring. That's the oldest belt in contention right now. So that's the one a lot of people outside the world, outside America, respect because of it's one of the oldest. So
yeah, if they buy the Ring belts and what it also like the magazine and the rankings, they're gonna fuck up the rankings because what those guys need to do, they need to make better fights. The card in Riyadh was not competitive. You want to see fighters fighting each other like in the back and forth battle, not just one dude going in there and knocking out another guy that's lesser quality than him.
My thing is they have guys who write for Ring Magazine who literally have on their Twitter page, they have their pronouns. Let that fucking sink in. One of the guys who writes for Ring literally has my pronouns are he, him. So that should fucking tell you right away. That's probably the reason why they have Gervonta Davis and fucking Spence still in the top 10, which is just asinine.
Jimmy, I have my pronouns on my
Abdul
what
right
are you
now.
trying to say?
Tank. Abdul.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. My pronouns are Lord and Master. It's in my profile.
Yeah, there you go. Well, see that I can see.
What is it called? His Royal Highness.
What is his real name?
His Majesty.
I'll say this though, when it comes to the pronouns, there's nothing wrong with putting your pronouns out there. Microaggressions are a serious issue that often go overlooked by cisgendered white men.
Oh, shut the fuck up, dude.
Do you feel like marching out, dog?
Does that mean they also buy the rankings, the whole company, and the people that work for them? So there's people that make.
They would just buy because it's electronic now. They're out of print, which I think was a mistake.
Yeah, that was one of the cool things.
Oh yeah, dude, I still to this day like a magazine. You know what I mean? Yeah. I got Rifleman. I got a bunch of magazines I still get because I save them. Something about a magazine than computer.
I used to buy the Ring magazines for many years.
You don't want to be reading on your phone, man. Like, what the fuck, you know?
It's not the same, dude. It's a proven fact. Reading, your retention isn't the same. If you read something out of a book, you tend to retain it longer than if you read it out of like a fucking like a tablet. For instance, they did a study on that.
Yeah.
They're collectible. Issues with certain issues,
dude.
like
remember them, dude. KO magazine, Ring magazine. There was some good ones back in the day. I used to fucking every second Saturday and second Thursday those magazines came out.
You cannot find them everywhere. You have to go to maybe the Ralphs and then you go there and there might not be there one day, but then you gotta wait the next week and you go and oh fuck, it's not there. But all of a sudden there it is. And when you're looking through the shelves, all of a sudden you see the champion or the poster. with the ring magazine.
Dude, it's right. I was lucky. I had a newsstand literally right around the corner from my house. We carried all of them. Hockey Digest, KO, like all real obscure magazines. I used to get all of them, man.
That's right.
Yep. Hey, yo, by the way, guys, there's rumor about Fury not fighting AJ after the Usyk fight. Whatever happens in the Usyk fight.
Yeah, no, he
after
already confirmed that, man. If you watch the face-to-face, he confirmed that.
I know, bro. I watched it. I watched it like 3 times, bro. It was quite entertaining. The thing is, it was pretty good. The thing is, from both sides, honestly, unlike the press conference, the actual face-to-face was actually better. The thing is, I do believe that he should fight AJ afterwards if he beats Usyk because he needs to. The triangle theory don't mean shit to me. I mean, you still need to fight that guy just to prove that you're the best of this era and end this debate once and for all. I think he is gonna fight him. I think that's just bullshit. He's just trying to get under AJ's skin.
So who you picking with him against Usyk? Who do you got?
Bro, what do you think I'm gonna pick? Who do you think I'm going with?
Okay, but how? Stoppage or decision?
I don't know. Honestly, I think it can go to decision. I think it could also end up as a stoppage as well. But if it's a stoppage, it'd be a late stoppage, and it'd be due to the accumulation of body shots that he will land on Usyk. That's the.
Hey, Gypsy, what do you think about the rumor? The rumor that Fury's gonna fight Southpaw for that fight.
He can fight any stance, bro. Depends on whatever he chooses. Okay. Yeah, he can. He's a switch hitter. He's like Terrence.
Yeah, I know, but against Usyk, I don't know. Is that a good idea? You can do it against Chisora if you want. Depends
on what works, brother. Depends on what works. Depends on what's working for him. If it's working at a certain round, he'll use that. If it's not working, he'll switch it. That's how he always does it. But if he works,
it would be one hell of a turnaround if he goes from going life and death with a complete novice to dominating Usyk.
I'm telling you, he carried him, man. Because you guys still don't believe it. I know why. Because of that elbow. Because of all that shit. I know why you guys don't believe it. But I genuinely believe that was a carry. Because of the fact that whenever he got him on a clinch, unlike Wilder, when he got him on a clinch, he hit him on a clinch. Against Nagano, he never hit him on the clinch, and on top of that, when he got shots, clear shots, where he could have landed on his chin, he landed on his neck, neck, or
he was
on
getting schooled in the clinch.
Bro, what do you mean? Look, man, when you got
go rewatch the fight.
I watched
it. He was getting schooled in the clinch. That's why he didn't want to clinch.
When nobody
Ngannou has a very, very powerful center of gravity because of wrestling and shit like that. So I'm sure when he clinched up with him, he felt the strength. Ngannou is not the guy you want to go in a clinch with.
Bro, I agree, Jimmy. Ngannou's strong in the clinch because of the MMA background, but he still throws punches. Even if when he was the one. Fury was the one initiating the clinches majority of the time. And a lot of times when he grabbed him, because of the leverage he has of height, he was one pushing him to the ropes, but he didn't throw any single punches in them clinches. That's what I'm like, what the fuck? You watch the Wilder fight, you watch the Otto Wallin fight, every single time he gets a guy in the clinch, even the Chisora fight.
Ngannou is a hell of a lot better on the inside than Wilder. Wilder has zero inside game. That's where you want to fight Wilder. Nothing's going to come back at you.
What about Otto Wallin? What about Chisora? Those guys on the clinch.
Otto Wallin's trash.
You're talking about someone who's better at center.
I think Otto Wallin's garbage.
I know. I don't rate him highly neither. But in the clinch, he threw him. He threw punches. Even Chisora, in the clinch, he throws punches. And this guy, he didn't throw punches in the clinch. That's the reason why
he was getting schooled.
How was he getting schooled? Neither Nagano or him were throwing punches in the clinch.
Just because you're bigger than your opponent. And taller doesn't mean you're winning the clinch.
Yeah, you sound very low, man. I don't know what you.
I feel like what this is just like a setup for him either to get a rematch with Ngannou and make a killing, and then now AJ took the option away from him. Now if AJ goes in there and knocks out Ngannou, that fight with him and AJ is gonna be more let's say tantalizing to the public.
But what do you say to the fact that was the whole reason behind the Ngannou fight, because they were referencing Conor Mayweather and the numbers that did. It was the second biggest selling pay-per-view combat pay-per-view.
That's what they were working for. Yeah,
but this one was against Ngannou was a dog. It didn't sell at all.
It was because they expected the same result, so not a lot of money got into it. But now,
Exactly.
if there's a
Now,
rematch,
did you hear what Ngannou said to the WBC? Did you guys hear what he said? Told him to fuck off. WBC, remember the WBC, Suleiman right away said, we are going to rank him. We're going to get him in the top 10 WBC. So they approached him. They explained that every time you fight, whether you fight for the WBC or not, if you're ranked, you have to pay us 3% of your salary. Like every fighter, whatever. Yeah. Like if you sign up and you're sanctioned by, you go in and you have an IFB belt, but if you're ranked by WBC, you got to pay them. So they get paid 3% of every fighter who's ranked by them of their purse. And Ngannou said, nah, go fuck yourself. I don't want your
He doesn't need them. That's obviously he knows that, right? He doesn't need the
he
WBC.
doesn't. Listen, the belts have absolutely, and this would be happy for Mr. BDA, would be happy to hear me say this. They have completely discredited themselves. They're already discreditable, but what they've done recently, I mean, think about this. 2.5 years, fucking Charlo didn't fight anybody. Nothing. Never mind mandatory. Didn't even fight. They didn't even threaten to strip him. But yet, fucking Crawford gets his belt taken literally weeks after he fights Spence. It's just so there's no consistency amongst the belts. And
Jimmy, AJ fighting.
That's what I wanted to say earlier.
Ngannou's fighting AJ, right? And Ngannou's fighting AJ, right? And the WBC, if they got their way, they would be getting some money out of that fight.
Exactly. Said earlier, I agree
the thing with Ngannou, guys, Ngannou, the first 3 rounds, AJ's got to be careful. After the first 3 rounds, Fury had figured him out. He hurt him in the 4th. He never pushed the pace on him. He let him recover. After the first 3 rounds, Ngannou ain't shit. Whatever the first 3 rounds is, if AJ is not careful in that first 3 rounds, he can get hurt. He can get dropped as well. In that first 2 rounds, yeah.
Well, I was going to say the quadrum that the Fury, some of the Fury fans I see online, what's happening. The people who want to shit on AJ for taking the Ngannou fight, they're having a hard time doing it because if they say, "Oh, you're cherry picking," blah blah blah, and like, how can they say that? You're the one who fought him. You know, you already fought him. But now they don't want to say he's that good, but yet he went life and death with your guy, so they're kind of in a quandrum. Like they want to shit on AJ for taking this fight. Like here, for instance. Who's a complete hater is Lewis fucking fucking heavy Lennox. That dude just is a straight hater. He's PBC. He was hired to do all that fucking boy. He hates AJ. He never gives him credit for anything. He didn't say nothing when Fury was fucking fighting Ngannou, but when fucking Joshua was fighting him, then he's saying, he shouldn't make that fight. It's not a good look. Wait a minute. So a guy who's not a champion fighting him is not a good look, but the guy who's got 2 or 3 of the belts fighting him, you had no problem. You stayed silent on that, dude. You just outed yourself. Like he just had to with AJ, and I'm not even an AJ fan.
Yeah, he's got a bad blood with AJ for some reason. I don't know the exact reasons why he's got a bad blood with AJ, but
AJ's a piece of shit.
I know I don't like AJ myself, but I like what I see because he after the Franklin fight, it showed like he's trying to get better. He's trying to get better. Like, and he is really working hard. That's the only reason why I like AJ. Personality wise, no, I'm not a huge fan of AJ. I don't think AJ's personality.
You like his personality?
I do. Well, majority, not every little thing, bro. Not every little thing.
Wait,
I'm not.
Personality?
Not every. He's talking about Fury's personality. I don't like every single thing he does, but I like. There's more likes on Fury's side than there is on AJ's side. It's stuff that AJ.
Fury's a genuinely good guy. AJ's not. AJ's a piece of shit. He's a homosexual. There's nothing to like about AJ at all.
You know, there's no personality, but unfortunately he lost. Arslanbek Makhmudov. I like the thing that he does with his neck to the side. Like he's got a weird twitch. That's cool personality. But fucking he lost.
I like Chisora.
There's more proof that Fury. Hold on. Criticize Usyk for wearing the ring, and you know what he told them? This comes from my tribes and my people.
the whole thing with me wearing an earring.
Yeah, I felt sorry when he did that, man. That's one thing I didn't like that he did in that face to face. That was messed up.
I actually agree with him with that shit, bro. I was like, anybody that wears an earring is a fucking homo for me too. So
I mean,
I agree with him.
Wait, don't Genesis wear earrings? Did Fury kiss the guy in his mouth?
I know he did, bro. That was the part.
I thought Genesis wear earrings.
Homosexual act.
Yeah, but wait up. But since you don't speak English,
Who's got an echo?
Wait up. But since you don't speak English, it's very easy.
The guy in the mouth will wear earrings.
Yeah,
he gave a reason. He gave a reason why his people and his ancestors. It's got a meaning to him. But since you don't speak English, it's very easy for people to be like, okay, whatever. Here is the earring.
You'd rather wear an earring,
echo, bro. What's going on over here? Someone got an echo.
Jimmy, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. It's not me. I'm not echoing.
No, that's very
Manny Pacquiao was an earring too, man. Manny Pacquiao was an earring.
Your deepest Southie accent. Come on, let's hear it.
Manny Pacquiao was an earring too. Who else was an earring?
Jake Paul was an earring.
I don't wear earrings, but I'm just saying he gave an explanation.
Yeah, he did, but I mean, for me, it's a culture thing, bro. So I can't really shit on it that much. I got friends that wear earrings too, so like I'm not gonna shit.
Clubber Lang wears the earring.
Yeah, well, basically, he said he didn't do it for looks or anything like that. He said it was something else.
It's just man. That's all it is at the end of the day.
Or some shit. Yeah.
He's just a fuck with him, man. He's just fucking with him in his mind and all that kind of shit. You know the cool thing about that face-to-face that I like is that the thing with Fury and Klitschko back in the day, Fury was after Klitschko. He said, I've been studying you for years. My whole goal was just to get to you and beat you. And then he finally did. After that, he ended up being crazy because he had no ambition in life. He lost his ambition and desire because once he beat Klitschko, that was it for him. But
no, it's on Mandalore.
Yeah, but the thing with him and Usyk is saying the same exact shit to him now. Usyk is saying that ever since you beat Klitschko years back, I was looking to beat you. I was looking for beat you and AJ. And that made it super interesting. I like that. To me, it was like,
I mean, he was trying to get into Fury's head for sure.
I know they were both doing this shit, bro. They both do this kind of shit. Even Usyk did it to AJ at some kind of restaurant or something like a meeting that they had together. Like he was sitting on a different table wearing the same outfit that he did when he beat him in the first fight, just to get in his head. Like he was wearing the same exact outfit, like that space suit type of shit. I don't know what the fuck it was. You guys remember that? I don't know if you guys recall that guy. Yeah, like he wore this thing. He wore this like weird ass shit that.
You remember what he wore when he walked to the ring in the first fight with the astronaut?
Yeah. He did the same thing for the second match. The second match, he was sitting on a
Fury.
Table. No, Usyk. Usyk did that to AJ. They do mind games all the time, bro. These guys, they're both into that mind game crap. I mean,
you're describing him like him walking into the ring like he's Buzz Lightyear or some shit like that. I don't know.
No. I think he wore something like that in the first fight, and he did the same thing in the second, leading up to the second fight. He did something like that.
That was a badass jacket, actually. I like that. That astronaut.
That was pretty cool.
Going on.
Yeah,
but there's no knock on AJ for fighting Francis. I actually like the fact that AJ's fighting Francis.
No, and that's what he should keep doing, man. That Fury should keep letting AJ just fight his leftovers. You know, never give him the fight. Keep fighting Fury. I mean, he's made a career fighting Fury's leftovers, and then also fighting the guys who aren't the top two in the division, Fury and Wilder. I mean, he's fought everybody. He's pretty much fought everybody besides those guys.
I'm saying this subjectively because I'm not a fan of AJ. I'm not really a fan of any heavyweight. But hasn't AJ also they fought a lot of the same people? But hasn't AJ beat almost all of them either more severely or at least at a better rate?
AJ got knocked the fuck out.
And No, not every single fight. I would say like.
No, I mean they both fought Dillian White, dude, and you saw what happened there. AJ,
Yeah,
I know he stopped Dillian
annihilated.
White, but he went life or death with Dillian White. Dillian White
It's
almost
actually the other way
knocked him
around.
out.
Yeah, okay, hold on. I have a question for the Fury fans. I have a question for the Fury fans. Who has a better resume, AJ or Fury?
Fury does.
Break it down.
Fury.
No, right now, I would slightly favor AJ because of the fact of the top 10 contenders he's fought. Before, not so much, but now
you
I
fought
would
more contemporaries.
It all depends on your opinion about Wilder. If you don't rate Wilder, then you're not going to rate Fury's resume. That's
no. I don't. Look. One thing I have a problem with Wilder and AJ is that he fought Parker, right? And he fought Alawali. Why not just make the fight right there, man? We were all waiting for that shit. Make it Wilder and AJ, or AJ Wilder. Why would it end this debate and for once and for all knock him out and get it over with?
AJ just needs to happen. Just make it happen.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You lost for one.
Are you saying skip the fight with Usyk and go to AJ? Like, why would he do that?
No, not skip the fight. I'm talking about
that win right there. Wilder.
Talking about Wilder and AJ. Wilder and AJ.
Ever done.
Nobody. Why didn't the Saudis? Okay. Listen. The Saudis could have made the Wilder AJ fight even after Wilder's loss against Parker. They didn't do it because they probably thought he wasn't going to sell.
I'm not talking about that, Bucho. I'm talking about that fight. Instead of fighting Wallin, he should have fought Wilder and ended the debate. That would have been it.
Okay,
he chose.
Obviously, you know what?
You know how it looks like? It looked like he waited until Wilder was older. That's what it looks like. They gave him excuses.
No,
it
that's
gave him
the Saudis. The Saudis, they would have. That's the Saudis, man. The Saudis wanted to put them in the same card, and they had them fight in March. They said it anyways, man. It was planned. That was a plan, and it's not their fault.
Yeah, it was just
not his fault that
Wilder is 39 years old now. 39 years old.
But this whole let's put that to rest.
Let's put that to. I would buy it, is what Gypsy was saying, if Wilder never turned down the fight back in the day.
Yeah. Exactly.
If they made that fight this year, they're all watching it. That's a good fight, bro. Just let it happen.
Just let it happen, bro.
Just let it happen, and then Wilder gets knocked the fuck out.
Like Crawford Spence, bro. Just let it happen.
The people saying that Joshua was trying to wait out Wilder or trying to duck him, let's go by Wilder's own words. On October 2020, here's a tweet, him responding to Joshua. When that fight was a draw, he's responding to, he's tweeting out to Fury after the first fight. When that fight was a draw, I told you I would give you a rematch, period. You know, I was offered more money. Repeat, I was offered more money to fight Joshua than I was getting to fight you. But I was being a man of my word. You were cherry picking a guy coming off the fucking guy who hit 400 pounds, who was doing cocaine and was mentally depressed.
Jimmy, you know why you wanted that, right? Jimmy, you know why? Jimmy, you know why you wanted that, right? You didn't took the fight with AJ. You know why? Because the rematch. Because if he beats Fury, he's got a bigger stake in that fight with fucking AJ. And he was confident that he could possibly knock him out.
But that doesn't negate my point that the most money he was ever offered in his career was Joshua, and he turned it down by his own admission. So for whatever the reason, you can burn all the nuances and all that other shit. He turned it down.
He did it.
Was it Kelly Finkel that said that, not Wilder himself?
But all that shit is in the past, man. When you talk about what happened at that last year, December, that should have been Wilder and AJ. It should have been AJ and Wilder. It should have. That's it. It should have been that.
I'd much rather on March Wilder AJ than AJ and Gatto. That I'll admit. Like I rather, even though he got washed up, even though he got washed up by Joseph Parker.
He got washed up, but so did Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz washed AJ up. You guys keep forgetting about that shit.
You forget about the rematch.
Ruiz and Parker are on the same level.
What about the rematch, though? Why does every time they talk about AJ, they got to define it by that fucking Ruiz loss? He eventually lost, but here's the kicker: it's 1-1. They can still do the rubber match,
The rubber match never took place because AJ didn't want none. He didn't want none. But what if Ruiz came up better?
None of this Ruiz, man. He's still stuck with Al.
No, Ruiz wanted that. He still wanted that trilogy.
Yeah, I think AJ ran away from that trilogy. Honestly, I think he ran away from that trilogy.
How do you know that? How do you know that he ran away?
He announced it on Twitter that he wanted the trilogy.
Bro, I think he ran away from that trilogy, man. That he ran away from that trilogy.
I don't know. I'm not going to say that. The guy
to fight Usyk? You think he ran away from Ruiz to fight Usyk?
No, bro. Usyk. Look, he was looking for to get the fight is mandatory. He wanted his mandatory, but he didn't want his mandatory. He wanted Fury actually. But the excuse, the thing is not excuse. The thing is, he was locked in with that arbitration shit that was going on, and that he found an excuse to buy himself more time. For Usyk. He knew Usyk was a fucking trouble. He knew Usyk was his kryptonite, and he bought himself time to fight Usyk by making excuses that he wants to fight Fury at the time.
Dude, he was mandated to fight Usyk.
He was. That's why he wanted Fury. He wanted Fury instead.
Not buying time.
So how the fuck is Ruiz gonna get involved in that business?
Why would he be afraid of Fury to get fucking the most money ever? Why would he be afraid?
I'm not saying he's afraid of Fury. I'm saying he bought his time. He knew he couldn't fight Fury because of the arbitration shit.
Fury knew he couldn't fight him too.
They both knew it. They both realistically knew that shit. The only reason why Fury...
Nobody, including lawyers, all said the same thing. With my wife's law firm, they read that when I gave them the shit, she read it, and they were like, yeah, this shouldn't stand up. Everybody knows why that guy ordered that arbitration. The guy who's in charge of the Anti-Defamation League in Los Angeles, a hardcore fucking Jew guy who knew he would blow up Fury's spot if because remember, he was about to fight AJ for the unification, make the most money in his life. And it was that fucking, and I'll say it, the guy in the Jew lawyer, arbitrator, threw a monkey wrench. Even Bob Arum, who was that guy knows the law. He was a fucking heavy hitter at the Justice Department. He was shocked. Like he said, I wouldn't have spent $1 million in advertising for that AJ fight and all that other shit flying back and forth if I thought he was an outside chance that arbitrator was going to enforce that. Because if you go by the letter of the law, he shouldn't have enforced it. That was bullshit. But the problem with that arbitrator, when you do an arbitrator, you can't, there's no such thing as arbitration to the arbitrator. He has final say. That's the problem with that.
Jimmy, I got that, Jimmy. I have to ask a question. Was it written on contract that there was going to be a rubber match? If there was, doesn't mean all that shit. It's written on contract. It's signed on both sides.
You have, they're not finite, dude. They're not finite. Contracts aren't finite. They have a date on them. You have to sign, like Spence had 30 days after the end of the fight to reenact your rematch clause. Wilder waited, got an extension that he shouldn't have got, then that time came and passed. So for all intents and purposes, that should not have been enacted. They should have not forced that third fight. Any lawyer who looks at that and sees that, but that arbitrator knew there's nothing. I'm the end all, say all. Nobody can do anything about it. And that was bullshit. That should have never been mandated, that third fight.
Okay, so he extended it pretty much, and by bullshit reasons. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, no, he extended it, meaning he asked for another 30 days to extension. Bob Arum said, okay, you have it. 30 days came and went on December 16th of 2020, and when that didn't come, that's when he started to make the Josh fight. Because as far as he was concerned, we gave him, he had 2 opportunities to reenact that the third fight, and he never did it. He missed the timeline both times. So in any other court, that would have been like, yeah, no, dude, it says right there in your contract, you have 30 days. You asked for an extension, then you didn't do it again at the end of that 30 days. So for all intents and purposes, that arbitrator should have never ordered that third fight. That was bullshit. Nobody in the industry saw that coming. And that was because of all the anti-Semitic shit Fury said about the Jews. Because you remember how he was a non grata there after all that anti-Semitic shit he was saying in England? Yeah. Of course this guy knew about it. He's a fucking president of the Anti-Semitic League on the West Coast.
Problem.
Yeah. You know, Jimmy, those people they be getting people fired if you criticize Israel.
No, I know. Trust me.
Yeah,
Don't question certain narratives.
You see, AJ did sign to fight Fury. He wasn't afraid of him, especially.
They both signed. Recognize
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say he's buying time and all this stuff. No, he wasn't. No, he was not.
Okay, what about how long it took him to do the rematch? It took him a whole fucking year. Jumping from trainers until he finally, I think he stuck with somebody. I forgot who it was. Oh, it was Robert Garcia. He got stuck with Robert Garcia. And then he made the whole year, bro. That's ridiculous.
The guy who beat him like 10 rounds to 2. Yeah, I'll take some time too.
Like 8 months? Not a whole year.
They offered AJ the fight on December 3rd, 2022. And if you remember correctly, he was saying that they were going to take it. That was coming off the second Usyk loss, and then he pulled out. So he did duck it that time for sure. And the quick turnaround don't mean shit, because from August to December 3rd would have been that's a longer layoff than what he's taking from Day of Reckoning to fight Ngannou. Like the Day of Reckoning to Ngannou is a quicker turnaround than the second Usyk loss to December 3rd of last year when Fury fought Chisora. So he completely blatantly ducked that one, and that was a 50-50 split and everything. So and that's not the first time he's turned down Fury. So
he didn't even get pummeled too much in the second fight. He got pummeled in the first fight.
Yeah. He turned it down? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, he turned it down.
He
But the fight
turned it
on
down
December 3rd, 2022, Joshua turned that fight down. They offered it to him right after the second fight. He is a duck.
That's 100% duck. That one was a duck because he came off a loss and he didn't want to continue. He wanted an easy touch before he got back into the game.
Okay, so Fury
over the date.
Lost to Usyk for the second time.
What? I had a disagreement over the date.
At the same time, Fury fighting like Chisora for a third time, fighting Ngannou. He's the world champion. Why was he fighting Ngannou and fighting Chisora 3?
Well, Jimmy, we just told you, Jimmy, and you can watch the press conference between Fury and Usyk. Usyk's manager admitted.
He offered a guy who just lost.
Finish it for a second, man. He literally admitted that they offered him the fight on they offered Usyk the fight on December 3rd, and he turned it down. And they offered it to Joshua as well, and that turned into be the Derek Chisora fight. They offered both of them that fight on December 3rd, and they turned it down.
But they withdrew it though within 24 hours.
Oh, see, I never heard that. No,
not to mention that AJ
24 hours. The next day he came out and it was stipulated with 24 hours. And listen, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a fanboy of any of these dudes. I think Usyk's the best of the heavyweights, just skilled wise. But Fury, man, has said a lot of shit out of one side of his mouth. He does. He just says a lot of shit that doesn't. Like one day he says, "I'll fight for free." The next day he wants $100 million.
That's an exaggeration. But also, hold on, Jimmy. They didn't. When that was brought up, when Frank Warren brought that up at the press conference, not one time did Usyk's manager or Usyk say they withdrew the offer. They said, Frank Warren said, "Did we not offer you the fight on December 3rd?" And they said, "Yes, you did." And they said, "Well, did you pull out of the fight?" And this is exact words. They said, "Yeah." Him and Usyk both said, "Yeah." They didn't mention anything about
where was this
24-hour offer.
No, I was talking about Joshua. There was a time when you offered Joshua, and then when Joshua kind of called his bluff and said, "Okay, I'll take that money." It was offered. Remember 80-20, and Joshua said, "Okay, I'll take it."
Okay, now I know you're. Yeah, no. Yeah, I do remember there was a deadline for that, and then Joshua was basically saying, "No, we need more time."
You know what I have a problem with AJ? You know what I have a problem with AJ is when the rematch. Remember the rematch? We were talking about a whole year. You know what happened? He was actually offering Fury to get step aside money. He was telling him to pay me step aside money so he could fight Usyk and and then the winner between Fury and Usyk would fight him. That I had a problem with, bro. I was like, what the fuck? This guy is so much of a chicken shit. Yeah, he got beat up. You lost. Yeah, that's why he keeps calling. That's why Fury calls him a businessman more than a boxer, because this guy wanted. Even they're both businessmen, but he calls him more of a businessman than a boxer because he wanted Fury to pay $15 million to him to step aside so he could fight Usyk. And when he upped the ante and he went to 20 million, Fury said, "Fuck off." That's what happened, and people forget about that. And he was trying to sabotage the fight with Dillian White in the process. He was also sabotaging the fight with Dillian White, and they were coming up with all these excuses that Fury is stuck in Dillian White and all this bullshit. Well, meanwhile, AJ was sabotaging the fight with him and Dillian White. This is why I don't like AJ.
And earlier, somebody was saying who has a better resume, like at the heavyweights. Clearly, I mean, it doesn't mean he won. He still lost, but just by the fact that he fought Usyk twice, that destroys Fury's resume. There's nobody Fury fought in the level as Usyk. He fought him twice.
Did Lennox Lewis ever fought a guy like Alexander Usyk? I don't think so.
But that's not my point. My point was who has a better resume, Fury or Joshua?
I agree. It's AJ at this moment in time.
And contrary to that,
up until AJ gets sorry, cut you off, Gonzalez. Until he beats Usyk. Once he beats Usyk, then Fury's resume is 100% better than AJ's. No question. At that point, if he beats him, let's see. Let's see what happens.
And Wilder, you know, come to find out, people thought he was like. They still will say he's the hardest puncher of all time, but you know he was never really that good. So Fury wasted a lot of time engaging in 3 fights with that guy. That it made him look better than what he really was, what he really is now. Because I mean, Fury's still active and he's a champion. But then after when he fought the MMA guy, he looked terrible. Even though he got the victory by the judges, he looked terrible in that one too. Well, I'm saying, you know, he won the Fury ones and he looked good. Correction, Fury, he won the Wilder ones and Fury looked good, but Wilder was nothing.
Wilder was way past his prime. He should be retired, bro. After he fought fucking Parker, bro. Like that shit was not the Wilder we know. Even though he's not as skillful and his resume.
I would say to you, he's exactly the Wilder we knew. That's exactly who he is. He's always been horrendous. Exactly. He just never fought anybody.
He's horrendous. I don't want to hear that shit, bro. Because everyone was saying that Wilder's gonna walk through with Parker, bro. So I'm gonna hear all that shit now.
At least he didn't get knocked out by Parker, unlike AJ, who got knocked out against Ruiz, a guy that's the same level.
Didn't you pick Parker to win? Never sober. You picked Parker to win, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So did I, and so did Bucho.
There's all kinds of good things in the market, bro.
Jimmy, I think you said
no, absolutely. No, you're 100% right. But, you know, the people on our panel, at least, right? We were on the money on that one.
Did you see Fury in that interview that he had with Usyk? It was like a shit guy face-off.
No, I've not seen it yet.
He looks like shit. Fury looks like shit, bro. He looks like
dude. That
shit,
interview
bro.
happened the same day the press conference took place. That's like 2 months old, and they just released it now.
Shit, bro, he looks like he just looks horrible, man.
Who looks horrible? I couldn't hear you guys.
Fury. He looks horrible.
Where does he look horrible?
He's very leggy. He's a very leggy guy too, so he doesn't hold muscle.
The guy's mostly fat.
Fucking love handles are like fucking airbags.
When do people care what his physical appearance is, though, bro? Nobody cared about his physical appearance when he was fighting Wilder.
I know. I'm just saying he looks bad. He looks sick.
The point I was making.
What Recognize is trying to say, you don't got that glow, that shine, you know, like where you're happy in your life. You don't have all the money in the world, but he's not a happy man.
Yeah, you don't take roids like AJ does, bro. He doesn't take the same.
Yeah, he doesn't get.
I'm not talking about AJ. Oh, I'm not talking about AJ. I'm talking about Fury.
Fury.
Yeah, I'm saying that.
Did AJ pop for steroids? I don't remember.
No, but he just road exemptions.
Did Fury pop for steroids?
Did Fury pop for cocaine?
Yeah, and also Fury intentionally popped for that drug because he didn't.
Is it true that Fury?
What do you mean intentionally?
Thailand.
He got popped for that shit because he got popped for that shit because Klitschko couldn't get it over the fact that he got schooled for 12 rounds. That's why.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
That's why
that makes no fucking sense.
That's the reason why, bro.
Yeah, and you know what? Okay, let's go from 2 years prior. Who fought Fury? Who fought AJ? He would have knocked him the fuck out. We all know that. For sure.
Who would? Yeah. What we talk? Oh, you're talking about AJ fighting Fury? Yeah, for sure.
No, I'm saying Klitschko.
Let me ask you guys something.
Yeah.
Punk ass the fuck out.
Let me ask you guys something. Who do you think is physically strong? Who do you guys think is physically stronger, Usyk or Fury?
Fury for sure, bro.
AJ?
Fury for sure.
Fury or Usyk? No, I asked Fury or Usyk.
You guys are going to be surprised in the 17th.
Fury is. I mean, you know how I know that a Fury is physically. Look. It's not like subjective thinking. It's just common sense of how I look at it.
Wait a minute. Why is it common sense?
I'll tell you why.
I want to hear why is it common sense.
Because Chisora, when he fought Chisora, he couldn't bully. Usyk couldn't push him back, but Fury had an easy night anytime he fought with Chisora. He pushed him back.
But that's not Usyk's. That's not Usyk's style. Gonzalo, you trying to say something? All right, Gonzalo, absolutely, go, brother.
You're saying strength, right?
Pound for pound, strength-wise, it's Usyk. But really, like Fury, he got more size. But the thing about having the more size, how does the saying go? Well, like the taller they are, the harder they fall. Imagine if Fury hits the canvas, it's gonna take that much size and power to raise back up. So all the time, that's why he boxes the way he does. He's very like a boxer, uses the length and tries to use his power like sparingly, so it can actually like work for him and lean on you. But actually, strength for strength, it's Usyk, and it also has to do how you train. And
one guy, hope the other guy does. What you know.
Look, man, I'd say it's Fury because of size and strength, and even conditioning probably.
But size, I can talk from personal experience there. You know how many guys who had 6, 7 inches, 30, 40 pounds on me in the gym, and I smoked them in weights? Like one guy was 230 pounds, 6'3", he was telling me, well, you can do fucking 30 dips because you're fucking 40 pounds lighter than me. So I strapped 2 45-pound plates around my waist and made me 45 pounds heavier than him, and I did fucking 12 more dips than he did. I've done that so many fucking times. Size does not equate strength.
I know that.
It's wrist, it's all that shit. So you can be, and he's 6'3". He's not a little guy. But I'm saying you'd be surprised.
Size is a key factor, though, Jimmy.
Size is a key factor for boxing at certain points. Yeah. But it doesn't necessarily mean you're stronger than someone just because you're bigger.
Yeah, I agree. It doesn't determine the end result. I agree to that.
I said this before. Size does not make strength. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying he has the size and he also has the strength because you could see it in the Chisora fight. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying he has the size and he has the strength over him.
Why? Because he pushed Usyk? Because he pushed Chisora? But that's not Usyk's style.
Because every time Chisora came in with some shots, he would he would put up his guard and kind of protect his body from getting hit by Chisora at the same time in his face. He would kind of move to the side a little bit, not like showing his back, but he would just not try to engage with him. But Fury, on the other end, just took that shit, hit him, all kinds of stuff. That's the reason why I'm saying that
wasn't that Usyk's first fight at heavyweight?
No, that's not his first fight.
I got to interject here. Do any of you guys, hold on. Do any of you guys,
where Usyk can use this, when Usyk fights Fury, okay, Usyk can use his strength, but you know where Fury can take advantage? When he just leans and lets his body go limp and rests on top of the shorter man, because right there, he's not even using his strength. He's just using his weight. Fury can do that. He's the same with the WWF people.
That's assuming stronger, though.
That's assuming it
doesn't mean stronger.
If you go by that debate, then Beterbiev is stronger than Usyk.
Recognize, but that's the point that Jamie was basically mentioning, and I'm kind of agreeing.
No, I agree with you. No. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is that he's trying to equate somebody leaning their dead body on him.
He's 40 pounds.
He's not stronger, but he can use it like that.
Yeah,
he's going to be 40 pounds heavier, man. He's got a bigger frame. Of course, he's stronger. Cut the cap.
No, he isn't. That's
Yeah,
no,
totally
that's
agree,
bullshit,
man.
dude.
That's not always guaranteed.
That's not true at all.
That's not always guaranteed, though.
It's not always guaranteed,
Okay,
Mirage.
look, it's 99% guaranteed. That's enough.
No, that's
No,
I have a number.
Really?
Okay, is Usyk some genetic freak? Is he like Mike Tyson or something? No. This guy came up. He's not some fucking monster. He's not super strong. Where'd you get the idea?
Bro, he's fighting heavyweights and he's a cruiserweight.
Yeah, and he moves around. He moves around like a grasshopper bouncing around.
The way I look at this fight, look, guys.
Have you ever been hurt to the chin? That's core strength too, because the chin comes down all the way down to your torso. So when you're taking punches, you're in there against a dude that weighs more than you. Your body's taking all that impact, and so that tells me that he's strong. He's not breaking like that.
Yeah, but you ask you whether he's stronger than Fury or strong. That's the comparison.
It's part of your constitution, or the strength of your whole body.
I've actually seen Fury bench 300 pounds.
From the floor up, if you can take a punch like that, that means you're strong. It's kind of related.
Fury's not just tall. Fury's not just tall. He's got that sort of giant proportions. Like
but you're basically saying because he dances around that he's not strong. So all of a sudden you don't have a chin.
I'm saying because Fury's much bigger, much heavier.
That dance around frame. Are dudes that are like, okay, you could be a dude that's strong, like a Timothy Bradley with respectable power, but doesn't necessarily have power himself. He's a strong dude, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't have a chin. Timothy Bradley did have a chin, but in the case of Usyk, it's kind of similar. But you could even take it one step further because he's fighting heavyweights. He's fighting heavyweights.
Boys, 30 pounds.
Boys, the way I look at this fight,
40 pounds heavier than he is.
Boys, the way I look at this fight is similar to Bivol and Beterbiev. I'll tell you why before you guys jump on me. Bivol is the better boxer between Beterbiev, but Beterbiev is an A- fighter. Bivol's an A+ fighter, but since he's more powerful, no, he's not the same. Okay, look, it's my opinion. It's my opinion.
Beterbiev stronger.
Beterbiev is stronger, but he's yeah. Let me finish, bro. Boys, I know you. Some might disagree. Some might disagree that Bivol is not an A-level fighter. I'm saying he is an A-level fighter. He's an A+. This is my opinion. He's an A+ fighter for me. Bivol is an A+. For me, he's an A+. But for me, Beterbiev is an A- fighter, but since he has the power, he's gonna ultimately knock him out because he's gonna.
How is he an A- fighter? How? Explain that. He's an A- fighter.
If he wasn't an A- fighter, he wasn't an A- fighter. That's someone like Usyk that you like a lot, right? He wouldn't have got dropped by this dude. He wouldn't lose a single round against this dude. He lost a round and a half in amateurs.
It's not the same. It's not the same though because those two guys, one guy's in their prime, the other one isn't.
Fighter? How do you have him as a fighter when he has 3 of the 4 belts? He beat the lineal champion in Vosdik. Yeah. How do you have him as an A- fighter versus Bivol, the A+ fighter? Explain that.
Because Bivol's skills, bro. That's the only reason why. Bivol has good footwork, good movement, back and forth. He just doesn't possess the power to like Beterbiev does. He doesn't have that pop. That's all it is.
And did you say Usyk lost to Beterbiev in the amateurs?
No, I didn't say he lost. I think it was a
no,
close.
I thought somebody said. Beterbiev was the odds-on when they fought. He was the odds-on favorite. In fact, when Usyk beat him, I know. I'm just finishing my sentence. When Usyk beat Beterbiev, that was a big upset. Beterbiev was the odds-on favorite. Yeah, it was the odds-on favorite to win gold.
When they fought, they fought 3 times.
That was the first fight. The second fight, he actually won. I think he won the second one.
As amateurs, they fought 3 times as amateurs, 3 times, and Usyk went 2-1. 2-1.
2-1, okay, but that's what I'm trying to say is how is that not put him in it as an A- fighter? If Usyk is an A+ fighter, that guy belongs as an A-.
At light heavyweight, he fights.
I know. I'm not talking about the weights recognized. I'm not talking about the weights, bro. I'm talking about skill, and I'm talking about what they were able to, what they have.
A smaller guy fighting a bigger guy. It takes
and plus, you gotta consider the fact that Beterbiev was he's shorter than him, less reach than Usyk, and he was able to do that shit. That matters a lot.
and he dropped Usyk twice.
That's amazing, bro. For a guy as a light
I would say
heavyweight.
pound for pound, I'd say Beterbiev pound for pound. And if you're talking about lifting weights, pound for pound, he's the strongest guy in boxing.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you might be right. You might be right on that one, Jimmy. But the thing is, what I'm trying to say with Usyk and Fury now, Fury is the stronger between these two. If you don't believe it, that's fine. On top of that, he has the reach. He has the reach advantage over him, and he's, whether you believe it or not, he is an A- boxing level skill boxer. Well, Usyk is an A+ one. That's the difference. That's what's going to make the difference in this fight. Even though Usyk is an A+, he's a better boxer than Fury is. He is not stronger than him. He doesn't have the reach advantage. He doesn't have a lot of things that will bring. Huh?
What do you think? Because Usyk's not going to be on the inside, more getting mauled. He's going to be dancing and moving.
He's going to try to do it. Yeah.
I don't think Fury's going to get to him. He's going to struggle to get to him. So I don't think strength's going to be that important.
I think it's going to be Usyk that's going to struggle to get to him because of the reach. That reach that he has, he's got a fast. He's got
fastest feet. He's got mobility. Mobility is going to help him.
He's got fast feet. Just Usyk's is better. Usyk's is slightly better.
Don't be surprised too if Usyk.
Strength is always going to be important, whether by a little or by a lot. You're going to need it at your best.
Fury better if he keeps the fight at range. If he jabs him,
yeah, that's what he's going to do. That's his plan. That's the plan.
He plans on, I think, going to be going from the rumors that are coming out that he's doing all his sparring southpaw. I think he's going to go into the fight as a southpaw. And he's going to try to box him at distance, but the strength will come in the clinch. And don't be surprised if Usyk, when Fury goes to lean all his weight on, like Fury, Wilder's never smart enough. The minute you feel a weight on you, jump to the side, let the dude fall down. Let all that weight, let him fall down a couple of times, and stick your foot out as you dart out to the side.
Yeah, that's a good technique.
A big guy at 6'9", pulling himself off the canvas, believe it or not, takes a lot of energy.
You think Usyk beats him on the inside?
I don't think he does. I don't think Usyk is that good on the inside.
Absolutely.
I don't think he's that good on the inside. I don't think he's going to be able to.
If the fight stays on the inside, Usyk will win. Fury's going to have to stick him on the out. Fury's best chance to win is a jab from the outside and keeping it sticking in his face and moving. What's that?
Usyk fight on the inside?
Anytime him and AJ got into the pocket, who landed the better shots? It was Usyk.
He stepped away. He went in and out, bro. Jimmy, he went in and out. He never stayed in there.
When he was on the inside, but when he was on the inside, he was landing the more eye-catching shots.
Yeah, because fucking AJ.
Remember, when you punch down, you also lose power.
You're not going to do that against Fury,
with a slight ankle.
Fury's going to want to get him and maul him. Fury will want to maul him, grab him, put his weight on him. That will be his strategy, in my opinion.
This is what's going to happen.
Wants to on the outside.
This is not lame,
make the big man move and chase him. That's to me what I think is going to happen.
Mirage,
of course, Usyk's going to want to make him move. The more you make him move, the more you're going to suck wind. Because remember, even though he beat Wilder in that third fight, even Fury was breathing with his mouth wide open in the fourth round. Like mouth breathing hard.
Make this fight as dirty as possible. To me,
I'm telling you,
I think it's going to be a dirty ass fight. It's going to be a shit fight.
That would be the smart. If I was training, that's what I would do. I would say you need to make it mean.
Guys,
people are getting excited, man. I reckon they're going to stink it out. It's going to be ugly.
I think what's going to happen.
The way Fury beats Usyk is if he make like what Mirage says, he stinks out the joint. That's how he beats him. That's how I think he beats him.
Don't be surprised if he does something like that too, because people tell, you know why? Because the guy people tell him that he's not the better boxer between the two. He's gonna go over there try to prove a point. And the thing is, though, he might do that initially. Fury, he might do that initially.
He doesn't care about that, man. Doesn't care about people.
I know, bro. That's the mentality you should have anyway as a boxer. If you're going for a W, you don't care what the public thinks.
He did that with Klitschko, but you got to remember, Klitschko is kind of got the Triple G syndrome. You have to make him reset. It takes him out of his comfort. Where Usyk is excellent at cutting rings off. He steps to where you're going, much better than Klitschko. So if he tries to stink it out, it'll be harder to do that against Klitschko.
Oh,
Usyk than he did against Klitschko.
Never. It's not.
I'm not saying you did. No,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Usyk's got better footwork. Listen, Mirage is right. If that's the way to beat Usyk, he needs to use his body weight, lean on him, and recognize him saying, put his body weight over him. But don't be surprised if Usyk sidesteps him and lets him fall to his knees. Because believe it or not, a 6'9" guy pulling himself up. That's the reason why a lot of these big guys don't sit down between rounds.
Well, Jimmy,
just sitting up
here's
off
the
that
thing.
fucking stool sucks a lot of energy out. What's that, Mark?
If he starts doing that, don't be surprised if Fury elbows him in the process or hits him with the forearm.
I'm agreeing. What are you talking about?
Guys,
that's what I was mentioning.
Once he gets into the body, that's Usyk's legs are probably not going to be there for that.
That's what I was mentioning because obviously for me, like Jimmy posed the question, Usyk is stronger, but when Fury is leaning and resting, that's a rest period. He's not even using muscle. He's not even using nothing. He's just resting. It's dead time right there. It's like dead weight. So he's actually saving energy. He's resting on the other dude's body, like for a split second or for however many seconds it might be. You're taking a break.
You guys keep talking about Gonzalo. Gonzalo, you guys talking about him resting and shit like that, bro. Like once he gets to the body, because that's what AJ did when he got him to the body in the 8th round, and Usyk's legs weren't really quite there anymore. He was getting clipped and he was running, but he wasn't running. He was like trying to lateral move, but his lateral movement wasn't quite there because of the body shots that AJ was landing on him, and he actually won that 8th round. AJ. Once he does that, it's going to be much more easy for Fury to get to him in every shape and every form. It's going to be much more easy because once he gets that legs out of the way, it's going to be even easier with the body shots that he's going to catch him with. And I know he's planning on throwing body shots by mixing it up, going for the head and then catching him on the body. And he ain't going to be shy.
You're confident he's beating him, huh?
I think
I'm confident, bro. I'm confident with my pick, but the thing is, it's boxing. Anything could happen, bro. So I'm not going to say.
I think a lot of people are going to be shocked at the end of the fight. I think it takes Fury 2 chances to beat Usyk. I don't think he gets it done in the first fight, and I think he'll maybe get it done in the second fight.
And the second fight, he's even better than the first fight. Usually, Fury's every rematch you've seen him, he's always better.
That's what I'm saying. I'm giving Usyk a better chance to beat him in the first fight. Usyk is going to have a better shot to beat him.
Let him lose. Let him lose. Let Fury lose.
I need to read a super chat. Mexican Rambo says Islam wants to invade boxing like the UK. All right. I don't know why you're talking about Islam right now.
That's not
right. Yeah.
They're going to put Amir Khan as the president of the commission.
I hope you're right, bro. I hope you're right. I hope Usyk wins the first one, and then we have a rematch. It'll be even more entertaining. I want to see 2 fights. Why not see?
Now, if Fury loses this fight, how much credibility does he lose? Like I asked before.
Depends on how he loses it.
Good point.
What if Fury gets a controversial decision?
By that point, it doesn't matter because this is the 2 best fighting the best. This is for supremacy. So if he loses, it doesn't matter. Whether he loses a little or a lot of credibility, it doesn't matter no more. The guy that was supposed to won. And something tells me that a guy like Fury is not supposed to be that guy that gets that glory. It's a guy like Usyk. Something tells me that the story has
why?
to win.
Because he's moving up in weight and stuff like that? Or why?
Bro, it's like the stars align type shit right now.
That's just my opinion because of the way life is, but not everything is a storybook. Life is not a story.
Well, I mean, Fury also has a story, Gonzalo, right? I mean, Fury, he went on a coke binge for 2 years or something like that. He managed to come back. So he has his own story, I guess.
Okay.
I don't
dedication story, I guess.
You guys, I don't think Fury's going to get any gift decisions because it's going to be in the Middle East. And, Fury was like a big LGBTQ supporter, fighting Derek Chisora and all the boy likers over there in the UK. So I don't think we have to worry about a gift decision or anything. Kind of like how he
already got a gift decision in the Middle East.
Beat proper this time.
He already got a gift decision in the Middle East,
and that'll be that. But let's talk about the lightweights. Hughes and Zepeda got announced for the IBF title eliminator. So I guess Shakira and Loma might not be fighting next year. I guess maybe Shakap can go fight Stank Davis or something. But that's a good fight. Let's talk about that. Zepeda.
What about Teofimo Lopez versus Jermaine Ortiz? I think Teo's gonna knock him out. Honestly, I see that.
What about tomorrow's fight?
That's a lose-lose in a sense for Teo because he's gonna win. I think he's going to win an 8-4 fight. It's going to be competitive because Jermaine is a much bigger threat than Regis Prograis. And all the casuals, the hardcore casuals, are going to say Teofimo's a bum, blah, blah, blah. Haney beats him. And if he loses to him, then he gets really fucked. But I actually think Teo will win a competitive decision and get shit for it. Like, only the
people are questioning Teofimo Lopez's power of 140.
No, he's got power. He's gonna knock out. I think he's gonna knock out Ortiz, man.
But dude, Jermaine Ortiz can be bigger than Teo too. You gotta remember, Jermaine Ortiz is a big dude. He's bigger than naturally. I think a little bit bigger than Teofimo Lopez.
He's big, but he doesn't carry the pop that that Teo has.
Nah, but dude, I'm saying he has good punch.
Yeah, he does have good punch. But I think with the jab, he's not that good with the jab. But I think Teo is much more. He's also more experienced than Ortiz is. He's got more fights under his belt that are meaningful fights, like the Taylor and the Loma and what else? I think he has. I think he has one more.
Teo to win, but I don't think he's gonna absolutely obliterate Ortiz, and people are gonna give him shit for it because I just rate Jermaine Ortiz that highly. What do you think, Baby Bucho? How you see that?
Yeah, I see Teofimo Lopez winning, but I see it going to a decision.
Yeah,
I feel like it's a
knockout. We should do a poll. Like we should do like a fucking like a betting or like just like a friendly bet. Like bet on or guess who's Davis is gonna fight next. I have a sneaking suspicion it's gonna be Frank Martin.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh yeah, the guy that got a good decision.
I'm rooting for him, dude. He's from Indianapolis, dude. Fuck
At this point, Tank Davis's career is not chasing championships or anything like that, right? I mean, this is what it looks like.
He's a choke. I mean, he fights on the perimeter, the peripheral of the sport. He's not even a part of it. You know what I mean? 7 years, dude. 2,582 days since the last time he fought someone who opened up as the odds-on favorite to win. Didn't close on the odds-on favorite to win, but Pedraza was the only person when the fight was announced was favored to win. It changed when it all came out about how emaciated and weight trained Pedraza was going to be. And even that fucking win has fucking aged like Clarissa's hairline. That fucking hasn't even aged well because how many times he's lost? 3 out of his last 4 fights.
It's Abdul Aziz. What's his real name? That's what he's called.
Practicing.
Why would we call him Muhammad Ali? We just call him Cassius Clay. Why everybody calls him Muhammad Ali? Just call him Cassius Clay.
Call him Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Right. Does everybody think he gave up alcohol and abusing women and all that other shit, which is a big no-no in the Islamic religion?
No, never.
Abdul Tank Wahid. Abdul Tank Wahid is the name.
Abdul Tank Wahid.
So do we all got Zepeda knocking out Maxie Hughes? How's that going to go? Because we're going to kind of find out, I guess. I mean, I think he's going to knock him out, but I don't know when he's going to stop.
Possibly knocking out, but Matt Hughes can probably play the survival game, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. It's possible.
If he's going to knock him out, it's going to be by volume. Obviously, Zepeda's not a power puncher, but he's one of the guys who throws a more. So,
no, man, Zepeda got pop, bro. If he catches you the right location, Gonzalo, he's got pop, bro.
Right. That's if he catches you. In other words, it's not going to be his first punch, right? It's going to be the volume. He's going to up with combos. Maxi Hughes is good at changing the angles.
So, I'm more looking forward to Kambosos fighting Lomachenko. That'll be more entertaining.
No, I think both fights are great. I think when it comes to entertainment value, I think both guys are going to be good. I just think Zepeda's going to stop Maxi Hughes and dog walk him. You know, it's crazy. You know, all these blacks will got to fight each other. But if Loma beats Kambosos, he's going to have to fight that killer in his prime. That's great. He'll do it. He's not a pussy. He'll do it.
Yeah, it's going to be a war, dude. Entertainment value, there you go.
Yeah, dude. Loma's going to be a great fucking fight. That's a great fight.
Ryder Munguia tomorrow, entertainment value, dude.
that's gonna be a.
He should be there.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I still haven't picked who I think will win that fight. I'm gonna say Ryder. I'm gonna say. The thing is Ryder really gonna get a decision against Munguia? He'd have to win 9 rounds probably, right? If he wins 8 rounds, I doubt he gets a decision against him. You know,
what weight division are these guys fighting, man? Munguia and Ryder.
168, isn't it?
Is it? How many fights does Munguia have at 168 already?
Only one.
I have a feeling he'll stop him.
I think Munguia should stop him too.
With the body shots, something around those lines.
Munguia stopped Derenchenko, man.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. I haven't seen it. Somebody told me that shit, but apparently it's not true.
They lied to you. Round. He didn't stop him. He almost got fucking stopped on his fucking feet, like the 5th or 6th round, whatever it was. In that fight.
The whole life.
Fucking bullshit me.
Whoever told you that fucking lied to you, man.
No, some guy at workplace. He said, like, you see the fight with Munguia and Derenchenko? I'm like, no, I haven't seen it. He's like, Munguia stopped Derenchenko. I'm like, really? Like, okay. Like, that's cool.
No, my thing with Zepeda, right? I'm still like, my only problem with him is Golden Boy. They just matched him soft. They haven't matched him hard enough yet. So I still have questions on him because he's got kind of a soft resume. Yeah, I'm not saying that he won't end up taking people out. I just always question it when you get matched somebody soft for so long. Like, what's his best swing? Fucking Diaz?
Based on eye test,
like,
Jimmy, would you pick
Diaz?
Yeah.
I like to see him in Cruz.
To be Zepeda Tank? I wouldn't personally.
Oh, he'd be Cruz. What's that, dude?
Would you pick Shakur to beat Zepeda or Tank to beat him? I would, based on what I've seen from him and based on
honestly,
how they fight.
Hughes and Zepeda, I gotta watch it to have a clear decision on it. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
They probably robbed Zepeda, but I'd favor
But
Zepeda.
Bucho, you think some of these blacks are overrated, right? We were talking about Zepeda in his last fight. You got, I don't know if he's AFK or not. Oh shit, he ain't in here. Damn.
Zepeda, they haven't even announced. That's not official with the Hughes fight yet. They might have talked about it, but they haven't announced it yet. Because box record, the ranking systems, even the belts don't have it announced yet. That's weird.
It's for the IBF Eliminator, apparently. I just saw it on YouTube. It's like March 13th or some shit. Let me see if I can find it again.
Yeah,
it's gonna be in a couple minutes.
I don't know. I'm surprised. I'm just kidding. Like, curious that why you would think so far ahead for a fight that, like Jimmy says, probably not even signed. What about Adrian Carrillo, the dude that beat Nithaya Nzinga? That's gonna be a good fight. Nithaya Nzinga, the little cat, Mexican.
Nakatila.
No, Nithaya Nzinga. African, Nithaya Nzinga.
That motherfucker owes me money.
Jimmy from Goodfellas.
That's happening soon. Adrian Carrillo versus Nzinga.
What weight division are you talking about, Gonzalo?
The flyweights. Nzinga. Doris doesn't know that because he follows the flyweights.
I follow it lightly.
But did you even notice when Zepeda called out fucking Tank? Zepeda was straight up saying that Cameron Zepeda was saying, I'll fight him. Fucking send me an offer because you're the A side. You're the one who has to make the fight. You notice Tank Davis wanted nothing to do with that? It's unbelievable. Like, people say, like, nobody. He fights nobody at the top. And the fact that motherfucker has the legit belt now is sickening. It's an affront to the sport.
Hey guys, slowly they're gonna forget about him.
We gotta go off the air. But I want to thank you for being on. All right. Thank you for being on.
Bucho, you're going, brother.
All right.
Yo, Bucho, I'm sorry for last time, bro. You sent me a message. See it? I never saw it.
All right. No problem. All right, everybody on the chat or in the chat, thank you for being on the show. I guess we will have a Sunday show, a post-fight show. Don't forget that the BDA documentary, the most shocking moments of 2023, has now been posted. Check it out. And having said that, have a good night. See ya.
Warning. You are at
Listos pe los chingazos. Listos pe los chingazos.
I'm going to bring the whole fucking diseased, corrupt temple down on your head. There's got to be better.